Not the Chuttle.
Chuttle. Surprise.
I have a real soft spot for evil.
Blood flying everywhere.
So good.
I'm a big boy who doesn't get scared.
Out of the mist and into the fog, it's Chuttle the Pod.
Sup, Chuttle Club members? Welcome to a brand new episode of Chuttle the Pod, where horror movie lovers have a feel-good time. We are three best friends that bond over horror movies, and we use a movie club format to discuss them in depth. We do our best to keep it spoiler-free until we say otherwise. And in this episode, we are going to Chuttle Species.
Hell yeah. La la.
Ross, sup?
Oh, hey.
Thanks.
How are you doing, Sam?
Great, thanks for being here.
It's always a pleasure.
Yep.
Every
okay,
time.
Good. Brian, sup?
Hi, thank you for having me.
Oh, good. You're welcome. And we are, of course, very excited to not be alone tonight. We needed backup to cover this one, so we called in our own scientist, empaths, and black operative people to help us get to the bottom of this one. We got Stanley and Alex from the Gory Gays.
I love
Welcome.
it. You know what? I want to be the empath.
Right?
You got it.
If anybody,
You're the Forrest Whitaker of the group.
let me be the empath. Oh man,
I think we all want to be a little bit of Forrest Whitaker. You know what I mean? Like he just brings a whole kind of vibe to
the
the
ghost dog
Jeez.
part.
Yeah.
Well, that's
in a
yeah.
different movie.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah, he is
He
in
is
a completely different
movie. Absolutely.
Oh man, I'm
Yeah,
excited.
Work his
we'll
way
get
over
to
here.
it.
It is-
Before we get carried away on all the tangents we get on, Gory Gays, can you please promote yourselves, the podcast, where to find you, all that good stuff?
Oh yes. Okay. You can find us on Instagram and Threads and all those social platforms at the Gory Gays. And we're a relatively new horror podcast. We review mostly older movies, like the underrated.
Yes, we like the underdogs, the black sheep of the families.
Yeah, like a lot of ones that people usually don't talk about. The most recent one we did was Dante's Peak.
Oh,
Which oddly enough has the same director.
How funny! Yeah.
Yes.
We didn't plan this. But
Going through all the
yeah,
Roger Donaldson films.
really-
Nice.
There's not that many.
No.
But out of the selection, I think we're talking about the two better
I would
ones.
say-
No, we're looking way under the bin. We're finding them.
right. Yeah. That's awesome.
So yeah, we're happy to be here. Thank you for having us.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Just forgot.
Stoked for you to be here.
How to have you?
All right. Now, before we continue, I must take this moment to thank our coven of patrons. Your sacrifice gives us life, and we thank your beautiful souls.
Thank you.
Patrons get bonus episodes where we cover non-horror movies, mailbags, creepypastas, gnarly history, and shuttle battles where we pin villains from movies we've covered against each other.
Dun dun.
Now, with all club members present
And
accounted
X-Files
for-
episodes.
Oh, X-Files
And X-Files.
episodes now, yeah.
That's
Special
happening now.
bonus
Those
ones.
are out.
It's coming out for real.
It's happening.
True. Now we can start. We got us here. We got the Gory Gays here. Let's go ahead and crack open that goo book and officially begin tonight's meeting.
Give me that goo. Oh yeah.
Thanks, Sergio.
Okay. Starting with our goo lines. I'm going back to that. I don't want to offend anybody.
Hey, I want to say
Yes.
I like the Let's Do Some Lines.
Hey,
I thought it was
All
kind of.
right, hold on.
Let's do
Sam, go.
some-
I don't want to trigger nobody.
Let's do some lines.
Okay. Hold on, man.
You gotta get
Hold
there.
on. Okay,
Get there.
let's bring it back. Go for it, Sam.
Let's do some lines.
There you go.
You never have to do it again.
Let's take that. Yeah, exactly. That'll be it.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. So starting with the log line.
Yes.
A group of scientists try to track down and trap a killer alien seductress before she successfully mates with a human.
Perfect.
Pretty accurate. Yeah. I mean, some of the details are a little off, but in order to do it in one sentence, two sentences, that really does it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's pretty solid.
Compared to a lot of.
I think seductress might be a little bit of a stretch, but yeah, I think it's.
That was the only word that kind of.
And they're not all scientists either. Yeah. One's an empath. And
one's an empath.
One is an empath.
One's a manhunter.
Secretly our spirit. Forrest Whitaker is now our spirit animal through this entire recording.
It doesn't make any sense.
I think he's gonna be the spirit animal for the pod. Forrest Whitaker. He's our new mascot.
Well, we're changing our name.
I'm okay with this.
Yeah.
I am too.
Chuddle the Whitaker.
Yeah, we'll be Chuddle the Whitakers, and you'll be the gory gay Whitakers.
Oh man.
All right. Taglines we have: if you build it, they will come. No, it's spelled C-O-M-E.
Wait.
Come on,
missed opportunity.
I've seen the movie. We know what they're getting hitting at there.
You know, there's yeah.
Yeah.
And they said, well, some of them do. She's just so aggressive. All right, we'll get there. The next one.
Oh, I thought that was it.
She's so aggressive. That would have been right on the nose.
For 3 million years, the human race has been at the top of the evolutionary ladder. Nothing lasts forever.
It's a little wordy, but
yeah, it's long, but it's not horrible.
I feel like that would last. That would work more today.
Sure.
Yes. Yeah.
In the 90s.
Yeah.
Men cannot resist her. Mankind may not survive her.
no.
Fine.
That's pretty young.
I mean,
Sorry, that was
silly.
It is.
That
silly.
one is so. Yeah. That's so like HBO after midnight. Like that's what
absolutely
you would say.
Like perversions of
Yeah.
science.
And so was the movie.
I mean, this movie is HBO after midnight.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
So-
that fits
Now
pretty
this
well.
one, this is the one that that is on the poster, like the main poster eye picture of her kind of in the egg with a hand coming out. 2 decades ago, scientists sent a message to space. ... This ... is the reply. So 2 ellipses there with a this in between.
Oh, interesting.
When did America Online come out?
Oh,
Right.
I don't know.
Because I feel like this is 95. I feel like this is like
it was
this
around
might be like
Dawning
sure.
of the internet. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is that work. I like that.
Yeah.
That works for a poster.
91.
Yeah.
91 is the start
really?
of
Okay.
AOL. So I mean, 95.
Oh wow.
We're
Oh,
in prime
we're
works.
entrenched. Yeah.
AOL territory.
I like that.
Well, that must be why it was the main
They're
one.
using the internet to scare you.
Yeah. When the touch
2
ends.
more.
Yeah.
We got Our Time Is
Jeez.
Up. Meh.
Yeah.
And Being Treat. This one I
Well,
like.
I noticed that is the 2 decades one, 2 decades ago, and Our Time Is Up are both on the poster.
Are they?
They couldn't.
Yes.
They couldn't decide, so they threw both of them on there. They're like, we'll let them figure it out.
That's funny.
Yes. At least on IMDb's poster. Like
Yeah. That's great. Last, be intrigued, be seduced, be warned. Ooh.
No.
That feels like that was like a handwritten note. Like that's like a ew.
I like it. It feels like that.
What's that movie? I want to watch that one.
Yeah.
It's like a handwritten note I wrote in
That's-
the 4th grade.
That it's ew. Yeah, it's like if someone had, like when they have the film that comes out and then whatever the porno is that comes out subsequently right after.
Yeah.
That's what the porno tagline should have been.
Interesting.
But this
You know what I
movie
mean?
was
Like-
looked at as at least, by my generation, was looked at as a porno that came to real theaters. So the line works
It was
to me.
very Showgirls. It was like
Yes.
another Showgirls. You said that.
That's what
while
it
we
was.
were watching
Absolutely.
it. Yeah.
I had actually never
It's
seen
a
this till
forgivable
now.
Showgirls. You can watch this with your parents, like
Yes.
in the
Yeah.
Well, I
run
could
after room.
sell
wish.
this to my parents as just it's just a horror movie.
Right.
Oh, look,
Yeah.
we're the aliens.
We
It's just a horror
tried.
movie.
Yeah, I'll get
Yeah,
to
right.
that story. I told it once before, but it'll come up again.
Yeah, we've all tried it.
Give them the taglines.
What are the taglines? I don't want to say
Give me
it.
the taglines.
The first one
Nothing.
about coming or whatever. Jesus.
Be warned, be
Be
seduced.
intrigued, be
Your
scared.
dad, how do they spell?
How do they spell that last word?
COME.
Glaring at the back of the box.
Yeah. I don't know.
All right. Movies are made by people. The people that made this movie are,
Aliens.
It was directed by Roger Donaldson, director of such other classics as Dante's Peak,
Yes.
and written by Dennis Feldman,
Yes.
writer of such other classics as Everything Else Related to Species and like one other thing. That's all he's ever done.
Oh, he wrote Virus.
Virus
That's
as
it.
well. Yes.
That was the other
which is a
thing.
piece of shit.
I don't know
It's
it.
terrible.
It's so bad.
It's Virus on paper. I felt like probably would have been much more of a winner versus what you actually get. You know what I mean? Like the concept is like, ooh, great. You see it, you're like, oh no.
Sure.
I feel like
Okay.
everybody was just drunk. I feel like that's when Jamie Lee decided to get sober. Was
Yes.
Virus happened and she was like, I should probably quit drinking.
Everyone has their rock bottom.
That was- it was
Unfortunately, for a
Virus.
lot of people, the rock bottom was a film
Virus.
called The
There we go.
Virus.
A lot of lives changed when that wrapped.
Yes.
For a lot of people.
So, stars, actors, people act in
Yes.
this movie. We got
Mhm.
Ben Kingsley as Xavier Fitch, Forrest Whitaker as Dan Smithson, Marge Helgenberger as Dr. Laura Baker, Alfred Molina as Dr. Stephen Arden, Michael Madsen as Preston Lennox, Natasha Henstridge as Syl, and Michelle Williams as young Syl. Fun little
Ooh.
thing there.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a packed cast.
Packed cast.
This
When
is
this
a
came out, I was
packed
like,
cast.
you got to be kidding me.
It is so
And Marge
incredible.
Helgenberger, I don't know the name, but
Yes.
I recognized her, and everybody else are like big names. Also, Michael
Yeah.
Madsen's picture on IMDb is hilarious.
Is hilarious. He is in full rodeo gear.
I
don't
guess,
know.
yeah,
Really?
over the shoulder, yeah, and it's like
Oh.
a loud, audacious cowboy shirt with a big cowboy hat.
Yeah,
I
man.
was telling
I love
Alex, I don't think that Michael Madsen is an actor or a person that you could trust because he is in like 17 movies every 6 months. If you look at his filmography, he is
Yes.
in probably 5 movies a year.
Mhm.
And
It's-
that's
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 insane.
unruly. Like
Yeah.
the man should not just be working to work. Like it's
Yeah,
I wonder-
You need money.
I wonder if it's like an Olsen twins thing. Maybe they're triplets,
Oh my
and that's
gosh.
how they make money by doing 5 years.
it may be.
For 2024, he has
Yeah.
7 credits listed already.
Just
Wow.
need one title. They're the most fucking bonkers title. Like,
Max Dagan, Arena Wars, Final Wager, South of Hope Street, Spirit Riser, Monster Mash.
Ooh.
He plays Dr. Frankenstein in something called Monster Mash.
No,
incredible. I
Sounds
mean, good
great.
for him. But what?
that's amazing. Yeah, yes.
I wonder if he's just like one of those people. Like if you
Just an
pay
actor.
what
yeah.
he's
It's
asking,
like Nicolas
oh,
Cage.
Yeah. If you're able
Oh,
to, get Madsen
Job
in a
is
gets
movie.
a
job.
paycheck.
Get that work.
I wonder how much he gets paid.
Anybody else surprised at the fact that Ben Kingsley was named Xavier and he looks like Xavier from X-Men?
Oh my goodness, I can't believe I didn't put that together.
Is that the same guy from X-Men? Like Xavier?
I just feel like
Is he the scientist now? Like, is this what happened?
That is
They
so
were
funny.
gunning
I
for
feel like
that.
it's like Bizarro World Xavier, because like in
Yeah.
X-Men, Xavier's this articulated, really smart dude.
Yes.
And like the Xavier that we get in this movie is more like stuttering 3 words, talking over people.
Can't make eye
surprise
contact.
look than reaction.
Yeah. You can't make eye contact with anybody.
No, not at all.
I feel like everybody is kind of ashamed that they're into this movie. Like when the director's like action and they're like, oh fuck.
Except Forrest Whitaker.
No, Forrest Whitaker took it very seriously.
I think Michael
Totally, yeah.
Madsen. I think all our core 4, as I've called them, are committed.
Yeah. I would say.
That doesn't include
Let's-
Ben Kingsley though.
I wouldn't think so. He's also in his own movie.
Yeah, he really is.
But they're into it. Like there's this movie. We'll get to it, but it does a good job of trying.
I said the same thing.
Sure is trying.
He is.
All right, so that's our cat. Oh, Alfred Molina is Doc Ock in Spider-Man 2.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
Unrecognizable Alfred Molina.
Yeah. He's young.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It was. I forgot.
I mean, he's
Ben
in a
Kingsley
ton of
too.
work.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
And I guess they all were. This was still the phase. It took me
Time.
so long for
It's
Michael
crazy.
Madsen to be Michael Madsen and not the dad from Free Willy. Like I remember the first time I saw Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs, and was like, oh man, the dad from Free Willy's doing what? This is crazy.
Yeah, and then like that's all he played for the rest of his career.
It's kind of nuts.
Great.
I feel like everybody else moved on from this movie, like Alfred Molina. Every other actor except for Forrest Whitaker, I feel like he already came from like had already been started, and this movie was, just he had already done like Batteries Not Included and those other little movies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And this movie was like the end of him and the start to the others, which is kind of weird.
Oh,
He's
sure,
spiritually like handing the torch over. He's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, they
The
left him there.
sunset, Yeah.
Exactly.
he's just waving goodbye.
Yeah. He doesn't get that.
well, I'll
doesn't
say
get
1999
See,
is
that's
when
good.
Ghost Dog comes out. So
Oh, you're right. This is right before then. Just about to.
What a weird movie.
Brian loves that
Sorry.
movie.
it's so ridiculous and amazing.
It's a funny movie. It's a funny movie to love.
Ghost Dog, you're right.
The way you talk about samurai movie,
Yeah.
Ghost
He
Dog
has, like-
Away the Samurai.
braids going down his
It's like
head.
I had not seen it till I moved in with you and Ross, and I was like, "What?"
It's-
I like made fun of
It's
the
Forrest
cover or something.
Whitaker
It was
is an
like,
assassin.
dude, that movie's good, and we watched it.
He's an assassin.
It's Forrest Whitaker's he's an assassin that follows the code of the samurai in like
That's
modern
funny.
times.
I was going to say, are we sure that he's not just doing martial arts
That's
it's just
in the street?
It's
It is better
It's
than
something
it
to
It's
do.
not
I
Kung
was
Fu
gonna say-
Panda. Like I kind of feel like I might have saw a different
it could
movie.
have been Queen
Right.
Latifah doing the movie.
All right, it is time to check our watches because
Fatality.
all right, on a scale of 1 to 10, Psycho to the Sadness, how gory is this movie? 1 to 5 consistency, 1 to 5 intensity. Put them together, get your gore score. Oh, this is tough. You'd think I would have thought about it by now, but I guess really
No, you don't do
never
that.
happens.
You never do. This just happens at the moment. I mean, we get some good like piercings. We get a spinal rippage.
The
Yeah,
spinal
which is
rippage
big
is
time.
badass.
Mhm.
Brutal. I think it's weird because the Goro meter for me is like it's some of the gorier things is the aftermath because I like
Yes.
that every
Right.
every corpse that you come across in this has that white cataract eyes and like
Notice that too.
like they've been there for a minute, like they're a little ripe.
Yeah,
That's
for sure.
That. I don't know. I had mine at about like a 6 to a 6.5. I had it for 3.5 for intensity because what you get is pretty brutal,
Mhm.
and then 3 for consistency because I feel like it happens like throughout. Although it is almost a 2-hour runtime. You know what I mean? Like there
I'm
are
gonna-
some big lulls,
Yeah.
but
I disagree with you on where I'm putting the numbers, but ultimately it ends up at a 6 as well. It's a 4 for intensity, 2 for frequency, but still puts
Sure.
me at a 6.
I'm right around there. Maybe a 5.5.
Stanley, Alex, thoughts?
Yeah, I would say that. I mean, I didn't find the first time I watched it. I remembered it being a lot more gory. Like
Yeah.
this time around, I don't know. Like the aftermath, like you had said, it was just the aftermath was a lot more effective. So I think it was a good. I don't know. I think the gore was a good 4. You know, and but just
I would say a
consistency,
5.
you
Like
know.
I would give it a 5, but it happens so much in the beginning that at the end you just get a lot more of that graphic. The whole.
that's
It's just too much, and
Yes.
it all basically just happens in the beginning.
Yeah, it's not consistent.
Right.
Yeah.
no, I agree with that because by like the third act you're getting more CGI gore,
a lot
but
of
it's
it.
also like Windows 98 or not even it's 91. So
Exactly.
it's like this is like we're getting
95.
early 95. So like we got some early CGI.
I'll
stuff.
say for
CGI
early
was
CGI, I think
pretty
it's
awesome in
good
this, to be honest.
Yes, totally.
for what it came
I
from.
guess if
I-
if 9-year-old Stanley would have seen this, I think I would have been blown away.
I mean, I own this on DVD. Like, I literally bought this movie because I liked it that much. But now is like, what the fuck was I thinking? Like, what happened? Yeah, like, why did it have to move on so fast? Like, you guys, this movie was good. I swear.
I swear, yes.
Hey,
Yeah,
well,
it's like you're so excited because the part's coming up. Sorry, and you're like waiting for this part to come up. You're like, wait till she comes out. She's gonna be so cool. And then you get that CGI shit, and it's like,
oh,
yeah,
okay.
really
I
into
follow
this.
you. You thought
Sure,
you were
sure.
like, oh man, that wasn't practical. If my memories, it's practical.
But the practical
Right.
stuff is cool.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh,
I think
hands
it's
down.
all cool. Personally, we'll get there, but
Cool.
I'm for it. All again though, I hadn't seen it before, so I had no expectations on a rewatch, or there was no rewatch, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
Who is the horror forward?
Starting with subgenres, what subgenres does Species fall into?
Oh,
Erotic
Anybody
horror?
remember? What'd you say?
Ooh, erotic horror.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I would say erotic horror. There's a lot of sex.
Yeah.
Sexy
That-
time.
it's-
It's not like
it's-
sex, but
I would say erotic slasher because in one part of the movie when that spinal cord that pulling happens, right before she goes to the restroom, she does say, "I'll be right back." And I think that's
Oh,
cardinal
yeah.
rule, right?
It
there you go.
absolutely
It's a-
is.
yeah, it is a slasher.
I'll
rule.
be right back.
Yeah.
I like that.
So yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, no, I
actually
think it
happens.
fits.
Alien.
sci-fi. Ooh,
Yeah.
sci-fi slasher,
Alien
Sci-fi
monster,
slasher.
sci-fi slasher stuff.
Certainly
Yeah.
monster.
Porn.
Yeah.
creature
love
feature,
fucking
all that
porn.
stuff. It's a nice little like Tear Duncan of terror. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there's a bunch of
Tear dunk.
What kind of environment is it best to watch in? What's the best way to watch this movie? With your friends, by yourself?
With
Depends how
theater.
old you are.
Totally, yeah, right?
If you're a 13-year-old boy in his room, you might be watching this alone. It might be a little
Paused.
different than being.
It's funny too because we were talking about how even with like the male skin that they choose to show, it's like they almost show like they
dong.
almost show.
Oh,
And
that
then
one
they shy
dude,
away
yeah.
from it.
you
They
get
sure do.
V cut, and you also get like
In
Absolutely.
the shower.
yeah,
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
shower Peter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where it's
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But then, like
Teased.
with Natasha Henstridge, like that's the reason this movie did so well.
Absolutely.
Was because
oh yeah,
you got
That's all
this
it's about.
beautiful woman who's not speaking, just walking around butt ass naked. The
Just
entire time.
wanting to get pregnant, like hello.
Yeah.
Like, that's all she wants is just to get pregnant. Like what the fuck?
And then shout out to
It's
what's
amazing.
her, the other actress, our romantic lead for Michael Madsen, because she
Marv.
goes topless too, and like goes
Yeah, we
full
see a little
on
bit
like,
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I forgot
It's very brief. It's very
But-
brief, and then
very
and then
brief.
she
As
takes
she's
his
going to
pants
give
off
him
and
head.
says,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
She
yeah.
takes his pants
I got a
off and she
fun
does
fact
do
for
them.
that scene too when we get there.
Oh, I'm excited,
I'm
to
excited
get there.
about it.
All right, cool. Yeah, I think those are good ways to watch it. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
No, I
maybe
was
with
gonna
a
say
partner.
stoned.
I don't know.
I would say alone. If you watch it with somebody else, you're just gonna act like a 14-year-old boner.
Yeah. Either watch it with a
Like,
bunch of
really.
people. Don't watch it with your parents.
No.
Or just
Even though I
you
did.
and your best
Yes.
friend or something.
Yeah,
You don't want to do it with anybody. It'd be awkward
totally.
for sex stuff
But-
to be around.
Yeah,
Did
I agree with you. I think at a certain age, though, you're probably going to watch this with your parents. You'll be like, "This is
Are you?
weird.
Yeah.
This is."
I'm never watching
Well,
this with
I
my
think the-
parents.
Well, I think the
I've
first
never
time I did
happened.
watch this, it was like I was watching it with my folks.
Oh,
Yep.
not me.
nope.
Same.
Well,
Never.
I just watched it the other day, so I was like, "Hey, mom, you want to come
Mom,
over
I
and
wanna
watch
I thought it was gonna be
this?"
another alien movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the poster is pretty telling.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just
I mean, I knew it was a booby movie when I was a kid, for sure.
Who's watching
Yeah.
the poster when the letter itself, the way it's like, the
like
font on the
flops
letter.
onto
Yeah.
the
It's so cool.
I didn't even try and rent it. I remember thinking, "There's no way I'll get this one."
it's never gonna work.
All
I
right.
think we'll get to the history.
We'll get there,
of my, yeah.
Is it for beginners? Do you think if a beginning horror fan? I think so, as long as you're not a kid who would be like, "Ho ho ho, boobs." I think it could be. I mean, there's nothing
There's no
preventing
reason.
you.
It follows some pretty basic premise stuff. So
Yeah.
why not? Especially if you're into like creature feature, weird, almost alien-esque, like alien, Ripley alien stuff. I'm
Right.
talking about, 'cause
Yeah,
it's
it's
Geiger.
a diet.
Geiger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever.
Do you say Giger
So-
or Geiger?
I personally say Giga, but everybody says Geiger, so I don't know what the correct actual
I'm gonna
is.
say Booger.
And I've watched it. Booger.
I'm pretty sure it's not that, but go for it.
Go for it.
HR Booger,
I think it is.
man.
It's kind of a fun introductory. Like I feel it is a beginner's movie, particularly for people that are like into sci-fi but start wanting to get into horror. Like this is like that weird
Sure.
in betweeny where it's sci-fi enough that you're gonna really get your goat, and then it's horror enough with the violence that you're like, okay, you can kind of leeway into other horror movies if you're kind of going from the sci-fi path.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah,
Good point.
you choose your path from there.
Yes.
If you like
Yeah.
Alien and
Do you wanna continue?
Fugitive, you might like Species.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Yeah, it's feisty. Yeah, it's ambitious.
Should you know anything
That's a good
going
point.
into it before you see it? Is there anything you need to know?
Maybe
Be boobs. You might not
if
want to
you're
watch
about
it
to
with
see
your
it with your
parents.
parents.
yeah. Other than that, I think you're all right.
Just the sexual content warning.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big hit. All right, cool.
All right. Speaking of warnings, fappity
Fap,
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 fappity
fap,
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 fap, fap, fap, fap, fap, fap. It's the Mothman,
Ooh.
Harbinger of Doom, fapping outside our window. Got any warnings for this one?
Minimal strobing. So like if
Sure,
that-
yeah,
there
there's
is
some
like some
strobe.
strobe scenes in there that I would be a little wary of if you're photosensitive.
Rat death.
I don't know.
I don't know. If
Rat
I was gonna
death?
say animal death.
Yeah.
Animal death.
Please. I don't know.
Technically,
It's not a
technically
dog.
child death.
I know what he's about. Yeah, I knew you were going to say technically child death. Yeah, sure. There is a newborn something that dies.
What about nipple snakes?
Ooh,
snakes,
yeah.
yeah.
If you have a
Ooh,
fear
yeah.
of nipple tentacles,
Oh,
Yeah.
Body
Yeah.
horror type stuff. If you have a problem
sure.
with body horror,
Yeah.
type
Body horror
of-
stuff.
I
Yeah.
forgot
I was
how
gonna
much
mention, like
Bowls.
during like
I guess
the
I'd also go into
cocooning
subgenre too. It is
scene and stuff,
definitely a
but-
body horror movie.
yeah, there's some Cronenberg things that kind of
Oh,
happened.
yeah.
If you took the alien stuff out,
Mhm.
like
Oh,
and
yeah.
just kind of focus on other things, it would yeah.
Okay. Well, I think we're ready to go ahead and talk about all of it.
spoiler zone.
Starting with IMD behind the scenes.
Good job.
We got our first fact here.
Yes, please.
During the production, MGM opted not to shoot the Nightmare Train sequence to keep costs down. HR Booger was not willing to accept that, however, so he spent
God damn it.
$100,000 of his own money to finance the sequence.
So this is okay. So there's the Bone Train, right? So we've got Skull Train.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you guys have seen the was it Tchaikovsky's Dune, the movie that was supposed to be, but there is a bone skeleton train from Giger in that they never used, and I'm curious on if it's the same thing. It was like, this is going to be in a fucking movie one day, and then like have it,
It must be,
introduced
yes,
just in.
because I saw
Yeah.
from some other trivia I deleted that he intended to use this on another movie and it never happened, so he made
Okay,
it happen.
so that was,
okay.
it must have been Dune. Okay.
Yeah. There
Damn.
you go.
Yeah, all I could think about was how similar to the alien design it looked like.
Oh yeah.
And,
It-
but
it
that
really
happens
is.
so often throughout the movie to where it's just hard to differentiate it sometimes. But it is the same guy who did.
Yeah, it makes
the
sense.
design.
Oh, totally. But it is you make a really good point, because I think that there's sometimes I get confused, even watching it to this day, that is like, is the species, is this part of like the fucking alien universe? Because
Maybe
they
it
look
is.
so similar.
Like this
And
is what
yeah.
Disney would have walking around for you to take pictures with.
I won't stop hugging you until you let go.
Welcome to Disney's
Oh,
Bone
gosh.
Train.
Get that guy away.
But Alex was saying the same thing. He was like, "Why does this look familiar?"
You're like, it looks so familiar. Like, I've seen this before, and you're like, alien.
I said it a
Alien.
million times. I
Yeah,
swear
no,
it's
Giger's
amazing.
his
Somewhere else.
biomech is so definitively drawn and executed
Mhm.
that like even in other films, you're just like, God, this is like that art aesthetic. It's almost like
You can always tell it's a booger.
I think it probably looked like Green Goblin, and it probably was Alfred Molina to design Green Goblin the way he did. Because of
It
this
kind of
movie.
did. It really
Right.
did.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, not that he designed it, but yeah.
No, yeah, you're right. Yeah, they had some input.
All right. Michael Madsen once claimed that this was one of the few movies he had done that he was proud of, but he referred to the film's sequels as lousy and admitted that he only did them for the paycheck.
How
Makes
many
sense.
of the sequels
That
was he
reads.
in?
I don't know. I know he's definitely in the second
Okay.
one. I didn't look beyond that.
I know he's in the
There's
second
a
one.
third one, and then
Sure.
fourth one
Sure.
that
There's
are
a
both
fourth
straight to
one.
TV, or maybe a fourth and a
Yeah.
fifth that are both straight to TV, something like that.
Gotcha.
I'm like, did he get a
gotcha.
paycheck or did he spend a paycheck?
Wow, yeah, he's
Yeah.
getting paid
Fantastic.
constantly. That guy.
He blows the page. He's like, "Fuck, I gotta do this goddamn
Yeah.
movie.
Okay, I'm gonna do it one more time. No more.
Never again."
Michael
Never again.
Madsen.
It's like, stop calling.
He signed on because he was excited for the chance to play a heroic role for a change. He's usually playing a bad guy, which he still kind of is, but like a good bad guy, I guess. Anti-hero, perhaps.
The weird arc.
Yeah, a lot of that. In the commentary, Michael Madsen says Ben King. Oh, this is like one of those funny behind-the-scenes prank trivias.
Oh, yeah.
Michael Madsen says Ben Kingsley was protective of his chair on set and didn't like anyone touching it. Kingsley said Madsen would purposely do things to the chair, including dumping garbage on it and hanging it from a crane.
Oh, funny
Oh,
guys.
those boys.
Having fun on the set of Species.
Oh,
Where's my chair?
Oh, where's my chair? I'll hang it from the train.
Have you checked
Michael.
Yeah.
Womp, womp. Yeah.
All right.
All right. Everybody get serious.
What a joker.
H.R. Booger had envisioned more stages of Sill's transformation, but the only film
God fucking damn
only
it.
employed the last one. Booger also envisioned Sill glowing with red-orange heat, getting brighter and hotter as she got angrier or felt more threatened. The studio claimed such a thing would be impossible, and when Booger had test designs made to show it could be done, they still refused.
There's a lot of production shots of like the clear, like, I don't know if it's plastic, but like there's a lot of like kind of like the xenomorph. There's tons of like plating on top of plating. So there's a bunch of really great shots where you can almost see like the veins inside. And I'm assuming that's because like they were setting up light things to make her illuminate, but then just wound up never using them.
Yeah.
Sure.
This was Natasha Henstridge's theatrical movie debut.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And Michelle Williams dislikes this movie due to the amount of bullying she received after it was released. She plays young Sill. Can't figure out why she would have been bullied.
Bullying?
Yeah.
great.
He did so good.
I Googled it to see if I could find more about it, and I found some other articles saying something similar, but no details.
If this was one of my earlier films as a young actress,
Mhm.
y'all can fuck off because I'd be so proud of it.
You know,
Yeah.
like, they couldn't have casted anybody better. Like these two girls looked
What did they
exactly
bully
alike.
her
And she
about?
did such a
Totally.
good job at the intro of the
That is,
film.
yeah, wild.
She also just-
You're an alien.
Yeah.
She also doesn't have any speaking lines. I mean, like, she
No.
did great.
Uh-huh.
I think she just had to scream and pretend that her face was falling off
Yeah.
Oh.
and steal money.
It's still money. Yeah.
It's good.
In August 1995, a woman named Madeline Tolentino from Canovanas, Puerto Rico, allegedly spotted the chupacabra, which had killed several animals in that area. She later admitted she actually described Sill, the creature from this movie, and believed the events depicted were actually happening in her town.
That's funny.
Weird.
Yes. Which I tried to find more on that as well. This definitely did happen. But it would have
Well,
been a
this
lot of
happened?
work to
That's-
piece
I feel-
together.
I feel
Like,
that-
this
I
was
feel
a
that,
real
like-
lady that said the thing. All this is true.
Right.
Did she murder her boyfriend or husband and be like, no, Syl came in here and totally
Right.
just
Right. Did she
Chupacabra.
like
I mean,
discover
that would
someone? Yeah.
What, you don't believe it
I
was
just remember when she
chupacabra?
gets pregnant, the chupacabras does have those spines in the back
Oh, the
of it.
spine thing's going out. Yeah, that's
It's
right.
True.
That's
I have those.
Yeah, I did read. That was part of the similarities, and one of the few things I did read in other areas about that.
Where did this take place?
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico. The film's cast includes 2 Oscar winners and 1 Oscar nominee, the winners being Ben Kingsley and Forrest Whitaker, and the nominee being Michelle Williams. Again, stacked this movie, the cast.
Yeah.
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 The original effects only version of Sill's nightmare scene when the dreams of herself in her alien form mating with a male alien was 20 minutes long and was much more detailed and graphic. HR
Could you imagine?
yeah.
Can you
Is that
imagine?
what was happening? They were mating in those scenes? I honestly could not have told you
Oh,
that.
yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
it's like this weird like 0G bonin kind of. I mean,
Oh
it's.
my gosh.
But could you imagine watching this fucking movie and then somewhere in this is a 20-minute alien porno scene.
I could.
Oh,
yeah, I mean, I could. With this universe, absolutely.
What do you mean imagine?
But it's like, it reminds me of like, what the fuck is it? Microcosmos, that documentary that has like all the crazy close-up shots of like animals and stuff. Well, they have this one where it's two slugs, like two snails mating. And they put like funk music in the background. So like if you're flipping through channels, it's just like, oh, I've just gone like an interdimensional porno. Like this is
Oh yeah.
I don't care who's fucking. I'm watching.
Interdimensional
Oh yeah,
That's a good slogan. That's a bumper sticker.
That really is. If anyone's having sex, I'm gonna watch
That's
it.
true. Put those little eyes on the side.
Don't encourage.
So, back to the 20-minute scene. H.R. Booger, who designed some of the effects for the movie, loved the original uncut version of the scene and hated that it was only a few seconds long and poorly edited. Booger also came up with the idea of killing Syl by blowing her head off, since he thought that her original death, where she gets burned to death by a flamethrower, was weak. Booger had some other suggestions for the ending, one of which included a much longer and more action-packed ending in a drive-in movie theater showing of Ridley Scott's Alien, a movie on which Booger also worked. In that ending, the military fought Syl with helicopters, and Laura eventually killed Syl by blowing her head off with a rocket launcher. After she gets killed, Syl's baby crawled out of her, but also died, either by explosion or by being beaten to death by one of the soldiers.
It goes from Twister to Godzilla real quick.
Yeah.
Or King Kong real quick.
Oh, that would have been fucking amazing. Like how weirdly meta would have that been? Getting murdered in front of like a screen showing Alien.
Well,
Yeah, that's not.
I mean, I guess I'm glad it didn't
Then we
happen.
get her looking like Alien at the end of the movie.
Right.
I feel like when she got her head blown off, the movie literally, she should have just died there. Like, we don't need to see her diving down into the flames. Like,
With all the
she should've just,
splash,
yeah, and then some.
alien gore.
Also, I mean, we're gonna get to it. I've seen Waterworld before. If that entire lagoon was made of oil,
I'm going to start all
don't
my
you think it would have just
conversations
like
now.
boom? Yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I've
Exactly.
seen
Waterworld.
Waterworld before.
Facts. You're the one has the facts.
Oh.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
that does it for behind the scenes. We can go ahead and say who picked it, why, and history. This one was a patron suggestion. I believe this one came from the Ditch Witch, probably because we had joked about this on some episode at some point.
Our coming of age. Sexual
awakening type of movie.
Oh.
Because I had said that I had only seen clips of this movie, which turned out to be false. I had only seen still images from this movie.
That's all you needed.
You can guess
all
which
you
ones
needed.
it would have been. No, and it would have been me and like 8 other kids standing around a computer. You know what I mean? It was never like by
Waiting
myself.
for the clip
Yeah,
to
to like
download.
load all the way. Like,
6
oh my
hours
god, we're
later.
about to get a nipple.
Yes.
So
And it's blurred
Mom,
out.
Mom,
it's all blurry and shit.
Mom picked up the phone.
So that was my only history. And then I do have a relation, kind of, in that Species 2 came out, a couple years later? I think it came out in
99?
97.
98. Yeah, or yeah, maybe
Whoa,
97.
We're all over the place.
Whoa.
Either way,
Yeah.
I remember my friend Shane, shout out, tried to get his mom to take us to that movie, Species 2, but she wasn't going to come in with us. This was like parents, I think they could like sign your ticket, like buy the ticket and let you go in without them. So that's what was going to happen. And the freaking movie theater guy like ratted him out. So he and I were like waiting, and she came back and he got an earful, and then we had to leave and go back. And it was like a whole thing. So I always thought this was going to be much more of a porny than it is. It's like a real movie that has boobs, and a real 90s movie. It has that sort of like putting a team
90s.
together vibe, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Super 90s.
Meant to ask, and I don't know. It feels like a book. Like it feels like based on
totally.
like
Yes. Yeah.
like where it's like the two
Like it was
you can
based
see
on a
this with-
book. Yeah.
like in that 90s ass way.
I thought that I was the only person that explained something like that. Like when we did Dante's Peak, that's exactly how I kept explaining. I was like, I don't know. I feel like this movie's like a book. Like I just see it.
Yes.
And I feel like this is how
Chapter
people-
1, Chapter 2.
It's a real staple
It's so
of Roger
weird.
Donaldson movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's his. He'd be honored
They have
to
the
hear
same
that.
editor. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's
Yeah,
that.
he did have the same cinematographer
he's
for
doing.
sure.
Okay. But yeah, that whole getting the team together and stuff. I mean, my history with it is as much as,
It was a real jerker, huh?
I mean, to any extent, but like, I definitely watched this movie because I thought it was cool. Now, this may have been one of those ones where I owned the sequel, if not
Oh,
the original.
Yeah, the original.
Oh,
'Cause I definitely had the
Be
sequel,
honest.
but I need to see the sequel again to see how much I remember from it. And I'm
Sure.
probably gonna be
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, I watched this one a lot too.
You're like during the rewatch the entire time. Oh, it wasn't Mila Jovovich.
Like, oh, wait
Right,
a
so,
second.
for real.
Hold
I didn't
on.
realize till now.
And so that's pretty much it. I haven't revisited this movie in a very long time. I don't think I
Sure.
ever.
You got the internet now. What do you need it for?
Right?
Yeah, it's been a
Look
good
up
while.
pictures of species.
Yeah.
Ross Fartis, what's your history with this one?
I think that what was not, again. This is 95, right? When it came out.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I do
You
10.
were 10, yeah.
So yeah, so this movie lived in infamy around like 10, 11, 12. I feel that I had seen it on VHS when it came out for sure, but it was one of those where like I remember seeing it at my house, but I also remember like once it started getting to like the third topless scene that my parents were like, hey, I think you probably should go to bed. Like this is, I think we're getting a little overboard on this one.
Mm-hmm.
And then it took a lot of friends of mine who had very neglectful parents that I could just head over and then I could watch it on VHS at someone else's house.
They're like, wait, you're not going to stay for the jacuzzi scene?
Yeah, right. And it was like opening up like the Pulp Fiction briefcase where it's like someone had the VHS like
Oh, yes.
like the glowing effect coming off of
Totally.
it. And like I remember, yeah, like this movie was fucking infamous. It's almost on the same level, like you were saying before, with like Showgirls, in the fact of like this is there's movies and then there are taboo movies.
Yeah.
And this was definitely on the short list of taboo movies.
Showgirls, Wild Things,
Gotta be
Species.
careful who's coming around the corner while this is playing.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, it's like your fingers just hot on the pause button or
Yes,
the
exactly.
off switch the
Or
entire
forward,
time.
like-
Yes, or fast, yeah.
Oh yes.
Totally. No, but I'm in the same boat though. I think like honestly, I've never seen this on DVD. I don't think I've ever I think I may have seen this streaming once, but
Yeah.
like it was what like this lives in my brain as a VHS, and then it's kind of and then watching it for the podcast was like weirdly nostalgic in the fact where like I was
It felt
Well,
great
'cause I was
not
just
to be
like-
scared that you'd get caught.
Yeah.
not to be scared.
Right?
It did the exact same thing to me. I even told Stanley, I was just like, holy shit, dude, I bought this DVD as a teenager. I remembered like watching this movie it all
Yeah.
started coming back. And I'm like, holy fuck. Like I remember being at a certain place at this age. Like
Yes,
Right.
I wasn't
yes.
even watching the movie. I was literally like transformed to my teenage years. I was like, what the fuck am I doing here?
Same shit. I was like having this like even reading the rewatches. I'm like, God, I'm in my friend Nick's basement right now, just like hanging out.
I
All of
remember
us
putting
like,
Chinese food in my mouth. I was like,
Yes.
what the hell? I would go to Wong's
Yes.
kitchen and order some mixed meats, fried rice, and just lock myself up in the room and eat it and just watch Species.
straight up.
Well, that's great. I mean, Stanley, you got a history with this?
No, I use okay. So I said I had seen it before, but when I was a kid, it was just one of those movies that like would play on TV, so it was just like on in the background. You know what I mean? So I had like seen like bits and pieces. I had never seen it all the way through until we had talked
Sure.
about us coming on to talk about it. So I watched it for the first time all the way through, maybe 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
and
Same.
yeah,
You know, how short
Yeah.
is the cleaned up version for TV now? Like, I wonder how they did that. shit. I want to
I
watch it.
must have
I do remember
clipped
this
a bit.
being on TV almost
Me
ad
too.
nauseum.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Me
Like-
too.
It might be one of
Yeah,
those
it-
things where
on a
instead
lot.
of cutting
On
out the
basic
scene, they
channel.
just like
Yes.
cut it so it's
Yeah.
like a close up on a face or something.
Yeah, probably a hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's funny though because when I was a kid, like I didn't have like filtered like anything. Like I was pretty much allowed to watch whatever I wanted, and I told this story before to many people. But my mom,
He was that friend you went over.
yeah,
Yeah,
more than
yeah,
likely.
yeah.
And we keep talking about showgirls, but my mom would take me to like really obscure films, and she was like not correct in the head, like a good majority of my childhood. Bless her heart. And she took me to go see Showgirls because she thought it was a musical. And
wow.
the guy at the ticket, and I was like 10, like barely 10. And the guy at the ticket counter, I don't think I'm supposed to give you tickets to this.
Yeah.
And she was like, no, it's fine. And she was with another one of her friends and then me. And she was like, no, we're going to get him a ticket. And so we literally sat through the whole movie. And every time tits came on the screen, she just did this. Every time something like remotely terrible came on the screen, she just did this. So
You're like, Mom, that's why I don't like tits now.
and here I am gay.
Hey, that's what did it.
And I don't know how I missed this one.
Tit
So
shielded.
basically, you were blindfolded for 2 hours.
Wait,
Yeah.
100%. And dude, we have a Showgirls poster on the wall. It's one of my top 10 favorite movies. There's
I love that.
reason for my deep rooted trauma.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Again, this circles back. I like the fact that we can have our trauma in poster format
on our walls.
on a wall.
Displays for everyone.
100%.
And always stare at it with a creepy smile while drinking your coffee in the morning.
Yeah, like
Trauma.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, that covers our histories. Let's start the movie. Bing, we hit play. Space. Title. Species.
Great. Love it.
Credits. We see a big ass radio telescope, and we know it's a big radio telescope because we get these words on the screen. For the last 30 years, the world's most powerful radio telescope has been scanning the heavens, searching for signals from alien civilizations. The project is called SETI, Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence.
Hell yeah.
SETI is real. I don't
Yes,
know
it
if
is.
everybody knows, but SETI is a real thing. We really do have this thing looking for stuff. As far as we know, we have not got an answer. But who knows? Maybe they're keeping it a secret, man.
I mean, it's grown in
I
a lab
was
right
wondering
now.
about that.
Yeah. Maybe they have a young girl in a glass box being studied by scientists as we speak. Because that's the next
I
thing we
hope
see in
so.
this movie.
Yep, pretty much. Right into it.
They fill her box with cyanide, but she punches.
this is like in Utah, right?
Sure.
Oh,
I don't
sure.
know.
Yeah, sure. Starts in Utah.
Is it really?
I have no
think
idea.
so, yeah.
But she punches through the window and dives out and escapes, leaving the nearby scientists to die from the cyanide gas. So we're like, all right, this little girl's not normal.
That fucking that build up of just her looking up and him just mouthing, "I'm sorry."
The single tear.
The single fucking tear coming out of his face as they're marching up. I like the fact that if you're gonna try to kill someone, right? I find it funny that you're doing like the slow walk with
the gas.
the fucking logo that says death and cyanide. Huge, like I'm talking like 120 style font on the front of this fucking thing with the skull and crossbones. Be like, she's not gonna know. No, this will go. She's gonna go quietly. This will be
I
fine.
mean, they didn't teach her to read, right?
Well, I mean,
She's
I
smart,
guess
though. She
not.
probably picked it up.
And
She can
that's
read
the thing
lips.
is like they think that she's stupid. Like
No, she develops
the entire
really
time,
quick.
they think this girl is stupid. And they keep contradicting themselves.
Well, she's
Right, like,
docile
she'd
or
never
whatever.
do that.
Yeah.
Well, because she's
Docile
a woman.
and controllable.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Ugh.
Oh, that
Like she's like
explanation.
half octopus.
I like Madsen's reaction to that,
She's so
too.
smart.
We'll get there.
Yeah, that was great.
Octopus, shout out. Love him. All right. Ben Kingsley watches this all go down. Seems to not approve of the escape, even though he was sad to have her killed. She escapes the facility and is getting chased by military types. Then we get this really strange sequence of the train, which we talked about. It's the nightmare train sequence.
Yeah.
Dimly lit alien sex, which would have been our 20-minute scene, which is poorly edited and barely there.
It
According
would have been
to
this early on. This would have been it.
We already get the
I
sex.
don't know when we would have got the
God,
20 minutes
I
edit
know.
scene, but this is how this is our first glimpse of it, because we just
But
get
it-
it clipped
That's true.
throughout.
Yeah.
And I've said it in different episodes, like the weird 0G fucking aliens having sex scene is like, it's very Transformers, and the fact is that you're just getting hunks of body part biomech spinning in a
sure what
circle
you're
really
looking at.
fast. I have no idea the fuck I was looking at the first time.
I
was
thought
like,
she was just writhing around touching herself.
No, there's another one there. There's like a dude alien.
Okay.
Yeah,
there's
I
like-
think it's. I think there's.
but
like
it's weird. It's like big spoon, little spoon. You know what I mean? Like, so they're not face to face. It's more of like a weird like space doggy style. I don't know.
I
It was
see.
something like-
Okay.
Yeah.
Cosmic doggy style.
Cosmic doggy style.
So this is then we also get a really strange cut because she's like running and then suddenly we see a train going down train tracks and now she is we saw the train already.
That
Now
fucking
now
bum,
she
dude,
wakes
is
up
like-
to the bum. Yeah, we don't see her get
Yeah.
on the train though. There's just like a derelict that's about to assault her. So she what does she
Fucking
do? She throws
the
him.
shove.
Yeah, she
Throws
throws
him
him
and,
against
like,
the wall, breaking all the
so
bones in his
dope.
body.
twists in half.
Holy fuck! Like
Totally,
I think
like-
seeing this, I think it's the crumple where it's like I think when I was a kid I didn't quite realize that his body is like in a weird fucking 180
Oh, yeah.
weird bent shape where I was like, oh, he just got knocked down, he went to sleep. He's gonna live on a farm for the rest of his life. Like as an adult, I'm like, oh my god, he's in so many angles that you
He's
can't be
broken
in.
to pieces. Yeah.
Yeah, and his eyes are already, like you had said, ripe.
I didn't notice it until afterward, like when they're showing him later on, like how contorted he
Yeah,
is.
no,
Yeah,
it's
the
right
second
away.
one.
As soon as he does it, like get contorted like
Oh.
Yeah.
It's also an amazingly high bar to set because like she's like what like this in age she's 12 maybe, you know what I mean, like
Yeah,
it's a little
she's
girl
young.
version who just backhands a bum and crumples like fucking a wet paper bag where I'm like, oh my god, when she's full grown she's gonna fuck some shit up.
Yep.
that. And she sure does.
Oh
Yeah, she does.
Well, I mean, at this point, sorry too. Like, I don't remember if, like, on my initial watches, how I was getting to the point. I'm like, why am I watching a young girl for so long? When do we get to the Natasha Henstridge?
Sure.
Like, how do
Yeah.
we get to Natasha? What is?
As my first uninitiated, I was like, well, we're not going to see her boobs. That would be weird. So what's
yeah,
happening
so like,
here?
why are we spending so much time with this child here? Like, I think this is maybe a little long, but
I feel like this whole movie is very long.
It
like
is.
that-
Yeah.
Was it
Yeah.
hour 48 or something like that? I feel like they
Yeah.
could have trimmed almost 40 minutes off of this movie.
It could be an
would've
hour
been-
and a half. It could just be a better
Yeah.
version of this movie.
lot of
This movie is ripe
unnecessaries.
for a remake, I think.
Agreed.
oh, interesting.
guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
I'm out with the guy species this time. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a man ass.
Man hams.
I'm perplexed at the lack of manhams in this fucking movie where it's supposed to be like it's a sexual thriller. You know what I mean? Where it's like
Yeah.
That is true. It seems like it is like the 90s. There would have been man hams at least. Like if we were doing it now, you'd get
Right?
full dick.
I'm not expecting
But,
like wild things Kevin Bacon
Bacon.
wang, you know what I mean? But like
right.
They do give us Michael Madsen's flabby ass
Just
for
a
a second.
bit, not the
Yes.
flab. He
Yes, flab.
kind of took care. He was making sure that they didn't get the flab. He's like right above it.
just
he
frame
took,
this. Let me
he
see the
took a
frame.
Sharpie and he's like, just not here
Yeah.
or here. I need
Yeah,
a tight
exactly.
shot like right here.
Mhm.
This is your mark. Yeah,
Yes.
so weird.
I've been doing lunges for 3 weeks
Yeah,
just to
you
get
know,
this
he has that
one
X
shot.
tape, you know, the X tape that they put on the floor for
Yes.
the mark.
Yes.
Exactly. Yes.
That's hilarious.
Little alien girl gets away, but Ben Kingsley assumes she. Oh yeah, Ben Kingsley assumes she got away on a train because he knows one went by at the time she left. So they're looking for a train.
Sure.
She gets off the train, goes into a store, and observes how money works, and I guess is like, all right, got that. Now, very clever girl. She takes a bag and uses it to sneak on the train to make it look like she belongs. And I guess that bag had a little TV inside because she starts watching
Yeah.
TV, which that thing must have
Yeah.
been like so cool from the future. I'm sure if I had seen this when it came out, I would have been obsessed with getting a little TV like that.
Yeah. 1995. Jeez.
Yeah. So cool. Now she ransacks an empty food cart and steals money. She meets a nice train lady while eating in her room. Ben Kingsley decides to call in a team to help track down missing alien girl.
I don't know why, but it's when anybody eats a banana without peeling it, it always grosses me out.
Does that happen
Like,
often? Can you think of
How
another
often
instance
are
of
you
that?
seeing that?
I've seen it at least a half a dozen times in movies, not particularly horror movies. You know what I mean? But just like eating, every time I cringe. I'm like, oh god, that's
Is that a thing?
dries your mouth.
Do
Like,
people
Yeah.
eat that in real life?
I don't
Yeah.
know.
I
That dries my
to my
mouth instantly
knowledge.
as soon as I bite like a peel of a banana. Like literally just like feels weird.
it's
Yes. I get. Yeah.
It's
I
that,
like
like,
that.
ugh.
Yeah.
What other movies has that happened in, Ross?
Oh man,
I didn't want to
no,
ask.
No, I can't think off the top of my head. I think there was one in one of the newer
Transformers.
Transformers movies. Yeah. No, I think it was like one of the newer Tarzans, maybe. And then there's like, it's always like either Primitive Man or like
I feel like
someone who
Tarzan
doesn't
knows
quite
how to eat a
understand.
banana.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I
You'd
don't know.
think
It's just
it was
You would
Jane.
think.
She was like,
What do I do with this?
then
Oh,
Tarzan and all the apes laughed.
yeah, I'm like,
Okay,
oh,
that makes sense.
yeah.
You eat
Does
it,
it-
of course.
Isn't Kevin Spacey in K-Pax eat bananas or something? Isn't that
Yeah,
one of
something
those?
like
Maybe
that.
that
Yeah.
happens.
That might
I think he
happen
eats
there.
a weird food somehow. Anyway, fuck him.
Probably.
Let's go on.
All right. So Brian Kingsley called Ben Kingsley Brian Kingsley. I just have BK in my notes. Burger King decides to
There.
call in a team to help track her down.
Yeah.
This is where we first see Michael Madsen for a second, then we see Forrest Whitaker, and we initially right away know he might be like a psychic or something because he's at the therapist and knows somebody's at the door before there's a knock.
It's for me. I have to help someone now. Goodbye.
Right away, he is.
His smile. He's like,
Oh,
get out.
that Whitaker smile. It's either, I like the fact that when that man smiles, either the worst shit is going to happen or the best shit is going to happen. Like there's no in between with that man where it's like, if he looks at you, it's like, oh, either a nuke's going to drop or he's about to save like a bunch of orphans.
I honestly thought you were going to say, when he smiles, the world smiles.
Ooh.
I don't know why I thought you were going to say that.
Can we re-edit that? Can we just, I want to put that in.
Oh, man. They give this man the worst dialogue that anybody could possibly say in a movie.
It
He
really
works
is.
with it.
He
I
eats.
feel like
I feel like
it's
him and
fine
Xavier
because he's a
have
very
like,
talented actor, but it's like, holy shit. This
it's just
guy
like, who,
is
why?
just giving some of the worst lines.
I
mean,
That's all.
I think that's his whole
Challenge
movie.
for a lot of the
It
actors.
feels like
It really is.
Yeah.
that's why it would have worked if it was a little bit short. Not worked. I think it works, but it would be a little bit better if it was a little bit shorter. Like you said, a cool 130 at
Because
most.
if you're
120.
into movies for gripping dialogue scenes, Species is not the movie that you
It's
want
not
to
the
watch.
one.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Well, because it feels like
They have
everyone has a
interesting ideas
one-liner.
they touch on and stuff, but it's sticks too formulaic to the one-linery stuff and all the
And sometimes it just like
formulaicness.
they keep adding a one-liner when the scene should have ended
Yeah,
already.
That's like you were saying, like they say the same thing but in different ways.
all
It's
of them,
like,
all of their
you just
characters
said
say the
thing,
same
like she
thing.
needs to get pregnant. She's looking for somebody to mate with, and it's like it's the same thing,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Like she's looking for somebody.
Yeah.
else.
Right.
You're saying
Like, we
the
don't
same
need to-
thing, but just making it longer.
Well, if we don't say more, they're just going to call this a sex movie, and this is a real movie.
Yeah.
It has
It's
to
like
be a
hilarious.
psychological thriller.
Put antennas on her.
So now young Michelle Williams is having a nightmare, which turns into her having a good old-fashioned body horror cocooning.
Yeah, that I
This
forgot
This is
how
pretty sick.
Okay.
I thought this looked awesome. Even though it looks like CGI, I thought it was rad.
I agree.
I
for
think
this time too.
for the time is
now, it looks
fantastic.
awesome.
I think that's where I'm such a sucker for practical effects, and the practical effects are so good in this movie that to me the CGI scenes are like insanely jarring. Where it's like the tentacles coming out, although I like the idea of it, is that like when you physically see CGI Cocoon versus the actual fucking practical Cocoon, at least now it's like, God, I wish they would have done that entirely. Like I get why, because you're pushing boundaries and like this is like a new format and a new thing that they're trying out, and at the time it's like fucking revolutionary. You know what I mean? But like it's
I
kind
think
of
it looks
just
great. It's not like Lawnmower
Yeah.
Man. I think it's good looking.
Good.
Lawnmower Man.
Yeah.
I think it looks
I'm a
more like
practical
Slither.
I'm a practical effects freak. I just
I like practical effects too.
Yeah.
But it's a blend of practical and like her like skin bumping and everything before the actual tentacles come out.
Yeah.
Is practical in her hand and stuff. And then the way that thing creeps up the wall.
Yeah.
And I think it kind of depends on the angle too. Yeah.
Totally.
But
Like, it's not
the
like
tentacles are pure CGI. There's no.
Oh, 100%. And it's not like terribly bad, like Scorpion King level of like terrible
fuck.
CGI.
Oh man,
You know,
that was
And
so
it's
bad.
like sort of dark, dimly lit, and light flashing and
Yes.
stuff.
I think they knew the limitations of what it was. So they're like, we're going to low light this. It'll be in like 15-second increments just in case, like, you know, we can't really like, you know, pull it off.
I think it still holds up well for what it is. Or not even for what it is, just for CGI, I guess. Not for
I'm
the
with
time.
you, Sam.
Yeah. All right. Our 4 specialists are now at the facility. They chat while they wait for Burger King, Ben Kingsley. So they're all hanging out, chatting. This one, we're getting to know them a little bit. We learn that Michael Madsen finds people. I think this is when Whitaker says, I'm an empath. As far as we know, Marge is just a lady scientist.
Biologist?
Yeah, same with Alfred Molina.
Yeah.
They're both just like scientists.
Right.
Was it anthropologist or
You
something?
need a
like that?
couple scientists. You need the
Yeah,
dude that's
listen, when an alien
is
escapes
psychic.
to hunt it down and kill it, you need a manhunter, a psychic, and 2 scientists.
Yeah.
That's actually in government. That's in government protocol.
I just love that it's so casually in this world that he is psychic, and they all seem to
Kind of be
Not
cool with that. Oh,
kind of
yeah,
be cool
all right.
with it, kind
Yeah,
of
yeah,
accept
yeah.
it, all right with it. Like
Right.
we're just
I think
accepting psychics. You guys are scientists.
They're dealing with an alien species. Like a psychic can exist. Why not?
Why not? Without, yeah.
Yeah, bring Santa Claus too.
right. Yeah.
I do like in this universe though is that like because all these people got tapped for this like secret government thing, if a guy walks in and goes, well, the government hired me because I'm a empath psychic. It's I like that baseline just because he's in the room. They're like, okay, we got to take this guy kind of seriously.
Sure.
Yeah.
We need your help again. I felt that.
I know.
I know. Yeah.
I already knew. Yeah, I already knew.
So
And
nice,
you'll need
nice train lady gets grabbed by the cocoon, and out pops Natasha Henstridge.
Yes.
Mhm.
Kind
I
of flops out.
yeah. So what's
Yeah,
funny about
plops
that?
out.
I don't understand why they did this. I deleted it or I didn't use it, but there was a bit of trivia that was all practical, but they used like an upside down stage to get her to flop out, or maybe she climbed into it and then reversed it. I'm not really sure, but that was
like the
like
fact
her coming out
that
of the
you-
cocoon was a big,
A big
costly thing.
I like
to do.
I like the
believe
fact
it.
that they set up like a Nightmare on Elm Street spiral room to just have her hoisted into a cocoon
Something like
instead
that.
of like
Yeah, exactly.
instead of a
So
step
just putting her
ladder.
in there and have her fall out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reading it, I was like, why?
Easier.
Nah, I'm just gonna get rid of it. And here
Or
I
put
am
a stunt
talking about
woman.
it anyway.
Yeah, put a supplement in there. Yeah, right.
Ensure your talent.
All right. Ben Kingsley tells our crew that SETI has received messages from space. One is to make limitless clean burning fuel, and the other one is to make some sort of alien human monster hybrid, I guess.
So it's like, let's do it.
The fuck? Okay. I like the choose your own adventure where it's like, hey, they gave us clean energy,
Unlimited
that's
clean
infinite,
energy.
Unlimited clean energy.
No
We're
signs of
not
that
gonna do
anywhere.
But then we're gonna have an easy bake oven of genetic splicing with shit that we've never seen before, and they're like, that one. We're
That
gonna do
one.
Put that together.
Yeah.
We know they're friendly, so let's make whatever they ask for.
But also the fact that I guess they do it later on. At this point, none of them thought to just like, not manifest, like make that own DNA itself. How it morphs into the weird alien thing that it turns into.
Yes.
The
Nobody did that
grows
first.
real quickly. They didn't try that at all. Too. They're like immediately, let's just combine it.
Brian,
the human
it's government
stuff.
work.
Yeah,
It's
let's go
government
for it.
They're not going to do that.
They're
going
just
to go
following
straight
their
for the
orders, directions
from the aliens.
I
Yeah.
guess from the aliens. The aliens said you could do this, or you can combine it with your DNA and see what happens.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that they're only doing one trial.
I don't know. Was the last thing she needed wasn't human DNA because she was a human as a kid. So when she ate that lady at the train and didn't
they
transition
make
into
her using
woman.
human DNA to start. They like
Right.
splice it together.
right?
I think the entire intent, because you're 100% right, where it's like they sent their DNA and how to combine it with human DNA to create that. Because I think from the aliens, it's like you basically create something that can camouflage itself in like around other human beings
she
to
keeps
reproduce.
the more she eat, the more it's like she's eating these people as she's killing them. But the more she does it, the more she grabs a little bit of each one of them.
Yes,
whether
and,
it's like hair color or color of the eyes or something.
And she
an
adapts
outfit.
so fast.
Yeah.
Like I think the
Yeah.
intent was like create like this for better choice of words, almost like a sleeper cell kind of just like, okay, so if you mix it with DNA, it'll look like a
Real
human,
Secret
act like a human,
Wars.
Yeah.
talk exactly.
Battlestar Galactica.
Oh gosh, yes.
I follow. Well, they made a little girl, but she had some issues, so they decided to kill her. That's the beginning of the movie.
Right.
Ben Kingsley sends them down to track her and kill her. Why any? Oh, and this is my side note. Why anyone is needed beyond Madsen is beyond me. Again, he's the only person who's qualified to find somebody. Maybe the
psychic,
empath.
the empath, yeah. That. But why do the scientists
help.
need it if they're not doing any sort of studying or
Right. What could they do?
Because they needed a lab scene and they needed to have someone talk about a cocoon. How are you going to do that?
Okay, that works.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could see it as useful. I mean, Scully's useful. She's a scientist.
Scully
bro.
is useful.
It is very useful.
I also like this archetype where it's like the ragtag team of different people from different things. Like I feel like this was like
That's
they dumbed
why
it down
you need
and
it.
created like CSI and they created a few like I feel like this is like if you take the sci-fi element out of this, I feel like 10 actual TV shows are based off of the premise of like all these special skills mixed together equals.
I'd watch these four.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like Natasha Henstridge's character could easily just be a woman killing people.
Yes.
Right. Like
They
just like
they spliced all
Absolutely.
these scientists just to make this one thing happen.
They spliced all these scientists together. Oh, I'm a real Frankenstein monster.
Little girl.
All right. Natasha Henstridge, Alien Babe. She is able to. That's what she's going to be referred to mostly in my notes.
Alien Babe.
Alien Babe.
Her name is Syl. I'm not sure when we hear that, but
They just started saying it. I feel like.
yeah.
Well,
Is this
they show the
short
video.
acronym?
It's when
What's the
Ben
video when,
Kingsley
like,
tells
they do
them,
the-
I think.
Yeah,
it might have
okay.
just happened, actually. But I've decided all my notes, at least I'm going to try from now on, to just do them instead of character names, because oftentimes I set that up once and then later on you're like, who is that? It'd be easier to say Dad or Alien Babe or whatever makes the most
I
sense.
like that.
Yeah, good.
So Alien Babe is able to sneak away out of the train station because they're looking for little blonde girls. And she and a little blonde girl kind of stare at each other as she goes by like, good luck, kid. But we know they'll all be fine because none of them are aliens.
Welcome to Los Angeles.
Oh yeah.
Now the team finds the train car where the broken in half guy's body. Or no, they already found that one, right?
No, this is the
This is where they're fighting the lady
Yeah,
that
the
helped
cocoon.
Yeah.
in the cocoon, and they're just
the
tracking down
fucking
more.
the fucking dialogue that they have
Outside the train is the
After-
fucking best about
Oh my
LA, about Los
fucking God.
Angeles.
You mean the future of the city? They're all transient. This is like
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's alone. It's like
Batman.
basically
Yes!
Los Angeles is so depraved that no one would ever notice this alien babe loose in the city.
Say
Like
me.
we're fucked. Nobody's ever gonna know.
They were telling the future.
Yo, listen, we live in Hollywood, and I think we can attest to that.
Yeah, you would have noticed.
Okay.
We're waiting for her to walk by and just want to get pregnant.
5 of
Probably
her
lives
have
down
watched
the
it
hall.
already. Yeah.
I absolutely fucking
Right.
love Xavier's response to it. He goes, well, all right, yeah, whatever, and then just like marches off. Where it's like he's almost stuttering halfway through the explanation. Where I was like, God, they didn't have any. Did he improv that?
He says
They
the
didn't have-
battle will be fought in Los Angeles.
He probably just didn't even bother looking at the script that day.
Yeah.
And the director was like, oh, fuck.
All right, that's fine.
God damn it.
Fuck. And
only have
this guy
Ben
was
Kingsley
like,
for,
I have
you
a
know.
fucking Oscar. Like, what am I doing?
What am I
Right.
doing here?
He
Probably
would
the
have
day
had
of
the
shooting.
Oscar
He was
at
like,
this point, right? I think
He
would
won
have.
in 82 for Gandhi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so he definitely would have
yeah.
had it.
he's already got his, yeah. But I feel like
Yeah.
they walked
Yeah.
on set. He goes, guys, I have a really, we have a problem. We blew most of the budget on a rotating room for this cocoon, so we actually don't have this part of the script written yet. So just feel the room. Just
Well,
do what
there
you
are
want.
improv moments in this movie, which will come up in the
Yeah.
IMDb behind the
Oh,
scenes.
shit.
So
Oh, that's fun.
might not be far.
This was
off.
one of them.
Yeah.
All I come up with was no, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
And they're like, guys, Ben Kingsley.
Big, big.
Applause,
Learn from the
ladies
best.
and gentlemen.
Learn from the
Ben
best.
Kingsley.
Masterclass.
Masterclass.
Get
Just
a
an
good
entourage
coffee.
clapping every time he finishes his lines in the background.
Single tear.
I'm sorry.
Alien babe buys a dress from a nice lady at a dress store.
Mm-hmm.
Who tells her, like, I think this is where she asks her if she's foreign. She says she's
Yeah.
foreign or
Yeah.
something,
Yes.
and be careful what you do with your money. Not everybody's nice as me. Now, Alien Babe gets a hotel
But
room.
see how smart she is? She already starts like agreeing to what she's being told she is.
Oh,
Yes.
she
You're
is
foreign.
so
Yes, I am.
on it.
Yes,
yeah.
I am.
You need money. Yes, I do.
Yes,
Yep.
here.
I like that she buys a Madonna dress.
Straight.
And the
Yes.
gloves. Yeah.
She walks out looking like
I lo-
Madonna.
And I love the fanny pack just on the
Oh,
front of
yeah.
it, where I'm like, this is great. This is
I
And
like
like
that.
everyone's looking at her, and she's like,
Well, that lady sold her
What up?
everything that wouldn't sell at her store. She's
That's
like,
actually-
"And you need this."
Right?
and charge her
this
double.
Gloria, bring the one from the back.
Yeah.
The purple one. Yeah.
I feel like she
we
did.
we have a foreigner.
What she did
Yeah.
was like get something fashionable from like 10 years ago at
Honestly.
the time, though. Like in 95, this was, no
Chic.
longer fat. This was something that would have been hot in like 85, right?
Yeah.
I mean, these
That's
wedding
true.
dresses were on sale for like $23.99
Yeah.
or whatever it said on the door. They were dirt cheap. Like,
That is.
And she's
true.
like, "Oh yeah, you don't speak English. Let me grab that tag just
Yeah,
in
yeah,
case,
yeah.
so you don't read the price."
Here's some change.
$100 should cover it.
Poor thing.
So now Alien Babe gets a hotel room. We meet the hotel guy. For whatever reason, I just like him. And
I do
then
too.
she.
Well, it's what's
watches
funny is
TV.
that he is, you would think, plays off as skeevy, but is not a skeeve.
Yeah, maybe
which I
that's
think
why
is-
I like him. He's like
Yeah.
cast to look kind of like a skeevy guy and dress like one, but he's actually like kind of looking out for people ish. I mean,
Yeah.
he's certainly not a bad dude, which he looks
No.
like. He when we meet him, we're like, oh, she's gonna kill that guy because
Well, it's
he's gonna
also
like
like,
try and rape her or something.
well, it's just that it's that motel manager boss
Yeah.
type thing. In most other horror movies, like you'll open the doors, like just something like either backwoods or just like real pervy. And this guy he looks the part, but he's just like, no, if you're trying to find men, you probably want to go down there and
Yeah.
hey,
She's like,
Be
I need a
protective
man.
of
He's like,
yourself.
try next door. Not like, well, you got one right here, baby. You know what I mean? None of that.
hey lady, here's your credit card. You should really hold on to this.
Yes, that's all she got.
So she's watching
Yeah.
TV, which will come into play later. Because she's smart. Everything she sees, she absorbs.
she's learning.
Back at the facility, they're trying to make another sill, maybe? I don't know why. I don't really know
No.
what they're doing, but they're trying to pierce
Well,
a
they had
cell
ta-
with some...
They're trying to make a pure version of the DNA that was sent to them, not spliced with
Yeah.
a human so much so they could
So
get it in
why
its
is
purest
why
Well, 'cause
are
in-
they doing it? And
Well,
not
'cause in
the
di- in
people that have been
dialogue-
working on this up until now.
Right. Well, no, in dialogue they had said like, wouldn't it be like the logical
That's why you
thing
have the
to, like,
scientists on the team.
the scientists on the
So
team
they
'Cause
can
they're
do
like,
it when you need to do this stuff.
Totally.
Okay. And
Yeah,
how is
'cause
this
they
going to
talk-
help with Syl?
That's like the colon from
This
Oh,
will
it's-
allow them to test it if it has any weaknesses or whatever.
Yeah.
See what it's
Oh,
responding
okay.
to. Learn
'Cause they
more
realize
about it
that
in its
the-
purest form.
Yeah,
Good
like the
idea.
woman facade is camouflage, and then whatever she turns into, they're trying to figure out what that is.
Right. Let's
Yeah.
make another T-Rex to figure out how to kill the first T-Rex.
Yes,
We'll make
exactly.
a more pure
Exactly.
T-Rex.
Yeah.
It's like we have a
better
T-Rex human hybrid.
Stronger, faster. Yeah.
Yeah.
This would be like if we have a T-Rex human hybrid. Let's make
Uh-huh.
a T-Rex to see what that's like.
All right.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
That's what happened in Jurassic World.
That is the
5,
new one,
Or
right?
I think it happens in all of them. Yeah.
That's what it's about. Something like that.
Yeah.
Chris
Species.
Pratt's been taking the
Chris Pratt is a T-Rex or something. I don't
raptor
know.
behind the shed.
I don't know why I saw that in my head, like really good, like T-Rex arms.
He's the baby that's born at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, half
Little
T-Rex,
Pratt
half
head.
Pratt. Pratosaur. Donna Pratt.
The Pratosaurus.
All right.
Pratosaurus Rex.
She watches TV back at the facility. This thing happens. The camera goes out. Michael Madsen and Lady Doctor have to go and try and fix it. But they
Yes.
get locked in the room with these human alien cells. They can't close the lid. They can't do different things. The doctor won't let them out. Kingsley won't let them out.
Protocol.
It kind of looks cool in there, the little bubbly alien thing.
Mm-hmm.
Sets that on fire. Some other random lady doctor is there, and she's like, "Oh, grab that tube and use it as a flamethrower." So Michael Madsen starts torching this thing, then he like breaks a pipe and really beats the crap out of it. And just when you think they got it, it's still alive. But Alfred Molina opens the door to let them in because Ben Kingsley wasn't going to do it. And then it gets closed real quick and the
Protocol.
whole room gets set on fire. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was just following
Protocol.
protocol. I hope you understand. Like
He was
very
really adamant about it too.
Yes.
I have a question. Do you guys like the special effects in this part of the film?
I do.
I don't dislike them.
Yeah.
What exactly did they come up with? Like, what is this that's roaming around?
Sort
Like,
of a black foam.
it is, right? Okay.
Sort of a
Okay.
dark
That's all I
foam.
needed was an answer.
Yeah,
the,
it's not. I
the
mean,
effects
it's,
and CGI don't get bad until the last half for me.
Yeah. No,
This I'm enjoying. Like I can literally walk
I
by
just
and-
wanted to know what it was. It's not that I think it's bad necessarily.
you
I just
feel
want
free to disagree.
Oh no,
Yes.
it's not even. I
We
disagree.
three
I
don't
just
disagree on everything
like,
at all.
is it a stomach? Is it the beginning of something? Do we have a kidney here? It kind of represents.
Oh yeah. I see what
I
you're
just felt
saying.
like it was growing.
I agree, though. I am wondering, what is it growing into? What is it becoming?
Like the cocoon, like it was probably
Yeah.
growing
Yeah.
its initial cocoon before the first baby could come out, or maybe it just got messed up in process, and so it's just kind of spiraling out.
Yeah, they fucked something up.
I assume it has to be something like that. Otherwise, I guess the home planet is just like this big, covered in like cookie, weird, veiny, mossy, foamy, but has weird tentacle-y or worm creatures.
I really
or
like
whatever
the
it
effect.
is.
However, they made it happen. It looks cool.
The worm
Yeah.
sucker on the
It reminds me of
window.
sea foam.
Yeah.
for
That
some
was funny.
reason.
Yeah, very similar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now alien baby's going looking for a man. This when she
Yes.
goes to the I love that part when she walks up to the hotel guy. It's like, I need a man. It's like, oh,
Great.
okay. Guess you could try the club next door.
The 90s.
Now, when she goes to the club, I don't know if it is. Maybe I should look into it. The guy, one of the bouncers, looks like the main bad guy in The Mask, the Jim Carrey movie. I don't know. You probably have to go back and see it in this movie here. But
He's
I'll
also
look it up
in the Usual
Is it?
Suspects, which came up earlier tonight. I don't know
Oh.
if he is in this, but I know that actor, and
Okay.
I will recognize it if he comes.
Well,
He's not on IMDb, which I guess would make sense
okay.
for being
Well,
that
there you go.
small of a role, or top cast
Sure,
57.
Of course.
But I know his name. If I'd hear it, I can picture that actor perfectly.
That's fine.
What's his name as the bad guy in The Mask? It's gonna kill me.
We'll get
Sorry.
there.
Oh God,
We can
I
move
feel
on.
like I should know this.
Now you sent me on a whole like path.
I could tell. I'm trying to reel it back in. Dorian.
Dorian, yeah, thank you.
Dorian.
Dorian's
All
the
right.
bad guy's name in the mask.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
Dorian Tyrell is played by Peter.
he owns the Coco Club or whatever it is.
Oh,
Yeah,
him.
Coco Cabana. Like,
Yeah.
He does not have a credit in Species, so it's just someone that looks like him.
Okay. So they go there
That's fun.
before
Xavier.
before she goes over there. She puts down her credit card for incidentals, and that's how the G-men know where she's at, because it like
Yes.
they
run the card.
somehow they know to look for that card because it belonged to the train
Right.
lady, I think.
Mhm.
At the club, another woman tries to take the man she was going after, so she follows her to the bathroom and rips her spine out.
Yeah, she
And
does.
this is the first like real awesome kill we get. And that when we see the aftermath of that, so she punches through the wall from the other side of the bathroom, or like the men's room, I
And
guess.
That's where we get our I'll be right back
It's so fucking cool.
So good.
Yeah, it is a
that
dope one.
that like spine, her hanging over, but the part of the spine still is sitting straight up. It's a cool image. Nasty kill. I really dig it.
Yeah, it's top notch.
Done really well, all of it. Yeah.
Alien Babe now gets a different guy to take her to his place. She uses the line she heard the other girl say about, what is it like? I have a party and no one to go with me. It's like, sure, where's the party? She's like, I don't know.
Yeah, I have a party and no one to take me there, or nobody drive me there, or some shit.
And she comes out in her bra, right?
Oh, yeah,
she
she
does this whole
takes
scene where
her
she takes her shirt
sweater off
in the
on the
club.
walk there. Yeah.
And hands it to somebody
No,
else.
she tosses it at the guy that was first.
Oh, the
flirting with
original
her.
guy. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
that
right.
then flirted with that one girl that went to the bathroom. So basically, I'm telling you, this is a slasher film because she's killing everything that's in her way now because this girl got in her way and she's like, I'm gonna kill that bitch.
Sure. I mean, that is
So she goes and kills her.
All's
Yeah.
fair in love and war, as the girl says,
Yes.
and she takes that to heart. She's like, all right.
She doesn't even go back to
Yeah.
that guy. Is the best part that she doesn't go
Right.
back out to that guy.
Uh-huh.
She finds another man.
coat rack now.
Yeah, exactly. Hold my bag.
She's petty like that. She does this whole like, this is what you could have had. Well, I guess it's a
Mhm.
good
Yeah.
thing because
Yeah, good, lucky guy. Turns
it
out.
doesn't
Yeah.
usually turn out well for the people she's around.
Yeah, no, not at all.
She now goes to this totally different guy who takes her back to her place just as the club is raided. And then they're talking to the bouncers trying to get information. And they're like, she would have gone with a nice guy, not a loser, not a total asshole. And they're like, oh, Robbie left with a blonde. That must be him.
This guy's a
So
nice guy.
total
not a-
asshole and Alien Babe are now back at his place. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
this guy's a huge
He
tool. Like,
sucks so bad.
And I like how they know that. Like they're just like, oh no, she wouldn't. She
Yeah,
wouldn't do
right.
this.
She's
Why-
like smart.
How do they know?
yeah,
Well,
why do they know
his
her
place
personality?
is
to,
really
like-
nice, by the way. Though, also looks like it's in the Bird Streets or something. It's
Oh yeah, no, this dude's got money.
hills.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, big old
Yeah.
house.
Oh yeah, and snap on, snap off
he
lights
wants to
and
take a
music
shower.
too. Big for the
Yeah, he
top.
wants to take a shower.
What-
That's funny.
He does it
because he really.
brag. Oh yeah,
And if you want to, take a shower later, you can too.
Yeah.
I'm just really proud of my
so
shower.
she watches him shower,
Yeah.
and he sort of rubs the mist away so she can watch, but not so we can see everything because we don't see it all.
No, D-line.
Yep.
We should have saw Manham's here, and we should have saw Slight Shaft.
Oh, we
That's
should have
nice.
saw
Yeah.
Shadow Shaft.
Something.
There you go.
Yes.
I agree.
Shaft silhouette at least.
Yeah,
Some
like
little drip.
I get it's the
Mhm.
'90s, and like movie is played towards like the straight male fantasy, but
yeah.
like fantasy. If this is a fantasy, that's
Of getting fucked to death.
You never know. To
But-
each their own, man.
Snoo,
exactly. But yeah, it needed a little bit more.
Totally.
Agreed.
After, so she gets out of the shower, tells her he wants to see her get naked or something like that. She takes her top
Yeah.
off.
I want to see you. He says something
yeah.
real creepy.
Yeah.
It goes from like his dialogue goes from like all right to like oh.
Yeah, but when she
Yeah.
gets to him, she is not interested anymore. And then nice guy, not a total asshole, won't take no for an answer. So he gets his tongue punch head hole. Is what I
Yeah.
wrote.
Oh yeah, that make out and then just the
That's
fucking
long
tongue
punch.
busting out of the back of his
Yeah.
head. Super reminiscent of Alien.
Yeah.
Like I literally thought I was gonna see like the pincher mouth like
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
And I had read a note that the original tongue was supposed to have hooks on it or something like that. The
Oh, okay.
original special effect was supposed to have like these
believe that.
jagged hooks lining it and on the edge of it. That would have been really cool.
That would have
It
been
would've
fucking
But what we
awesome.
get, I think, is it's so cool. Either way, I
Yeah,
think it's
it's
really,
rad.
a really
Mhm.
cool Mortal Kombat character.
Yes. It was like that and almost like a hint of like Nightmare on Elm Street where it's like because it still has the tongue effect where it's
Uh-huh.
like it still looks like that like going out
Yeah.
where it's like oh fuck oh cool.
Yes.
Yeah, like, don't come at me like,
Yeah, right.
don't come at me.
Too often in horror movies, the someone's about to get raped thing goes on too long. So this one was like as he forces the kiss and then gets his head punched out, which is pretty nice.
I think that's great. Yeah.
Yeah, because earlier we were talking about like the
Mhm.
warnings or the triggers or whatever, and I
Right.
was gonna.
Oh yeah,
But-
yeah. There is a
Or this,
light,
but-
like it starts.
But
Yeah.
she
quickly.
gets it taken
Yeah.
care of real quick.
She does.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
She does.
It seems
gets
like
it
she
done.
would have let him live if he just took her back.
Yeah.
Right? You think
Oh
she
yeah,
just like
totally.
Yeah.
What
What
does
would
she
they have
care?
talked
Forrest
about, like, in the
Whitaker
car ride?
says it a bunch of times in this movie.
So
is
do
that
you know
she
anybody?
kills when she feels threatened. So
yeah, because
the
everyone
second-
that's nice to her, she lets just walk on by.
Yeah.
Like the guy at the
Absolutely.
motel, the girl that sold her the Madonna dress and the fanny pack.
Except for when she was really hungry with the train woman.
Well,
the
she
train
was
lady.
in the cocoon at the time.
Exactly. That's
Yeah,
like
she
Cocoon's
can't
probably
cook
in
with her
like
food.
hunger
You can't-
defense mode.
hangry. She was hangry.
You can't
Yeah.
blame me when I'm in my cocoon mode. That's going to be the
Exactly.
shirt right there.
Totally.
That's like a bad
Don't
morning.
Don't blame
The
me.
door
I'm in
says
my
do not
cocoon.
disturb.
But still
Coffee
has
mug.
this.
Ooh, that's what we sell. You know, you like a do not disturb thing for your door that you hang on. Do not disturb in cocoon mode.
Oh sure, and we get a do not disturb door hanger moment from this
I'm in
movie.
cocoon mode. Yeah.
I'm in cocoon mode. Yeah,
Metamorphosing or
in the
whatever.
shops.
Like
Yeah,
metamorphosizing.
And I do like this scene too, in the fact where like Syl gets close enough to him and then like has that like not that smelt, but like you could tell like some kind of spidey senses are
Something's
tingling.
off, yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and it instantly goes from like I'm attracted to like nope, I'm done.
Your blood is tainted.
Oh, that's what they would have talked about on the drive back. She would have been like, "So do you know anybody who's not diabetic?"
Yeah.
He's like, what? Oh.
I
And
can
that's
smell
what
your
they actually.
syphilis.
That's
He's
what they
like,
find in the department later. They're like needles.
Mhm.
Right.
Could have been diabetic. That's
Yeah.
what the cops say later.
Well, imagine if it
and
was
he
like
is.
cancer or something, and she stopped, and then like they take on the ride back, and she's like,
So-
Yeah.
you might
babies.
want to go to a doctor.
Right? Yeah, something
really.
undiagnosed.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
She's like, "Thanks for
You
the
wanna go
ride,
check
and
that?
you need to see a specialist."
you might be you might need to be concerned about that growth.
Yeah.
Get that
You know how
checked,
your
yeah.
stomach's been hurting lately? You need to go to a doctor.
Guess what?
Right.
It is a tumor.
All right, so G-Men have tracked down this guy's place, and they find his corpse. They discuss theories on why she would have killed him. This one, we see the diabetic thing, the needle, and they come to the conclusion she must be able to detect genetic defects. Now, I love this part. So now Alien Babe is such a hottie that while crossing the street, she is a distraction that causes like a whole series of events to cause her to get hit by a car, which causes her to go flying in the air through a bus stop.
Could you imagine if that was just the end of the movie? Car creates just nukes her.
Can you
She
imagine
goes through
being
the
so
bus
attractive that you can't walk around without like
Cars
Causing-
crashing and getting
crashing? Yeah, possibly crashing into you.
Yes.
I like that you don't see her actually get hit by the car, though. You just see her crash into the,
Yeah.
the bus
No,
thing.
there's a lot of weird cuts like that in this movie, like her appearance on
She
the
has that
train.
like deer in headlights and then just like
boom. I wish she didn't have red blood. Because when she's like bleeding on this, I wish her blood was like bright
Like
green.
bright green, yeah.
that would have been
Like,
fucking
like,
Some
awesome.
green alien blood.
That would have
Yeah,
been
yeah.
fun.
And then the
Like,
entire
there's
crowd going like, ooh,
Yeah,
oh no.
like I feel like the movie, like if it knew more so what kind of movie it was, like it would have had green
Just
blood.
the way it's
Totally.
written, it's species.
Yeah.
Like that same
that also
green.
would have been
Oh,
a
sure.
great body count scene, as in like she gets hit by the car, she's bleeding green, and then like her
Yeah.
and then like her camouflage is gone at that point. She just opens one eye, goes, well, fuck it, and then just immediately tentacle nipples or like come out,
Wow.
and just start murdering everybody.
Yeah,
I
save those
love
for
it.
the climax.
Yeah, you gotta
Yes.
save your tentacle nipples. That's like the sequel. You put that into
That's
the
like,
sequel.
that's like a quiet place.
They're called titty tentacles, by the way.
Oh, I'm sorry, titty tentacles,
tittycles. Tittycles.
tentacles,
Tentacles.
That's my
tentacles.
AOL screen name.
Nipples.
Your game name. Tentacles.
So a
42069.
kind-hearted stranger sees this go
Tentacles.
down,
Triples.
pulls out his phone, calls 911. She goes to the hospital.
His car phone.
Yeah, car phone.
His
At
brick.
the hospital, the doctor is amazed when he sees her shoulder heal rapidly.
That guy's in Seinfeld.
I knew I recognized
He's
him
like
from
Elaine's
somewhere.
boss or something at one
Oh,
point of the publishing company she works at, whatever. Yeah, early seasons.
Oh, the doctor?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Alien babe decides to leave the hospital and runs into the kind-hearted stranger that called 911 and put the hospital bill on his credit card.
Can we go now?
Yeah, and he takes her back to his place. He's like, the doctor said you could go? She's like,
Yes.
Yeah, I can go.
Totally.
G-Men are out and about tracking her down and get kind-hearted stranger's number from the credit card at the hospital, or his name. So they're trying to track him down now. Lady Scientist and Michael Madsen head to his place. They try to call him to warn him, but Alien Babe won't let her answer because they're in the hot tub about to get it on. She's being very aggressive.
Very aggressive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very aggressive. I
He's
was
like flipping him upside down.
that was
Oh,
that
yeah.
entire scene where she goes, "Oh,
It was-
you're overdressed," and like ripping his pants off. He's like, "Please stop!" Oh shit, Jesus fucking! It
It's
was
It's
like
like
super
that, like
effective
that.
though, because this part is the one that I remember the most. Like from the entire movie is like this whole part in the jacuzzi and her being so aggressive is what I remember the most about Speed.
yes,
But see, I have like a weird Mandela effect with this because again, didn't see the whole film as like a young person, but even growing up, I remember this part being melded in with the bedroom scene later with Alfred Molina. I remember her having like the things coming out
Totally.
her back in this scene,
yes.
but that doesn't happen.
It
No.
absolutely doesn't happen, and I literally was going to say the same shit because for whatever reason in my head before rewatching this, I was like, okay, so they're boning in the hot tub, and then all the tentacles come out, and he just starts getting fucking eviscerated, and
Yeah.
like,
Uh-huh.
I think
But-
I kind of just blended all the deaths together because even then, like maybe the tongue would have happened in the hot tub too. You know what I mean?
yes, exactly,
The guy in the entire movie was Alfred Molina the entire time.
the entire
Probably.
time,
Oh.
yeah. That's why he signed on. He goes, well, if I'm
Yeah,
gonna, I'm going to be
exactly.
in this, I need to have sex multiple times.
Oh, he
And
does the same
lucky
exact
him.
scene in Frida, like the newer movie Frida. He plays Diego Rivera, and he does the exact same scene because he has sex with Frida's sister, and it's the exact same scene at an older age. I'm like, damn, that
Oh my
man's
God.
good.
And then
He
just
signs up for the good scenes. Yeah.
right. And does Frida's sister have the spines that come out of like
No,
all the
no.
spikes that come out of her spine?
Like the chupacabra.
No, but it's funny because Frida does like she dives from she's up atop a balcony and she literally throws like this little demonic chupacabra looking doll down at them that she just got a carnival.
That's amazing.
It's hilarious. It is a sequel.
So they're about to come in, they knock, and Lady Scientist kills kind-hearted stranger, and they find his body floating in the hot tub.
Mm-hmm.
She
That
watches.
was such-
She's watching from far away now. Who was
Yeah.
gonna say
Well, no,
something?
that switch that flips when like she's hot and heavy at him, and then he goes, "I want a baby." He's like, "What the fuck?"
Oh, yeah.
Well, I
And
mean-
he's like trying to get out, and then she knows that they're at the front door. So basically, just like, all right, whatever, and just fucking starts drowning him, and then fucking just impales him.
But they had sex, right?
No,
Almost. It was almost.
because they
she
can't
got-
find semen in the hot tub.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
what it
yeah.
is.
no semen in the
Maybe
hot
she
tub.
took it with her. I love that line.
Yeah, that's a
Maybe
good
she-
line.
Yes.
She found the sack.
Yeah. This guy doesn't have his this guy doesn't have his testicles anymore.
Yeah.
She's in the woods with a lemon juicer and just testicles. Maybe like, is this how this works?
So I do
Dude.
like that she's watching them
Making
from the woods,
margaritas.
observing them as all this happens, and I like that transition we get of like the alien eye watching it, and it transitions
yeah.
into her eye watching it. I thought that was a nice
Very
little
Velociraptor.
transformation. Clever girl. She is a clever girl.
Mm-hmm.
Alien babe runs naked to a lady in a car and asks for her help. And that lady appears to give it. We don't know. She's like, "Oh, sweetie, what's wrong?" Cuts. Again, one of those strange cuts. Now she is in that car outside kind-hearted stranger's house, watching the G-men talk, reading their lips, and the G-men all head back to their hotel.
Would you? Okay, obviously, everybody's different, but if you had a fully just anybody, it's just a naked person dive into your car screaming like that, I think she was way calmer than I would have been with a nude
Yeah.
person that dived in.
Absolutely.
I would have immediately probably turned the keys off and just ran. I've been like, nope, no.
No.
I mean,
I just immediately think diseases. I'm like, get the fuck out my
Yeah,
car.
like, I don't
Don't touch
know.
my seat. I just washed that. What are you doing?
Yeah,
Get
it's
out.
like-
I can help you from outside.
But is it
Like, hold
Natasha
on. Look through the hood.
or is it just some random person?
if it Natasha Henstridge, exactly. That's the big
Yeah,
question.
get
if
in
it's
the
someone that
trunk. I'll
looks
drive you to wherever you need to go.
I don't care.
like
I don't care
Natasha
how you
Henstridge
look.
and is clean and has her hair looking all done up and is
Looking
wearing
all done up.
Exactly
You know
as
what?
it
We
is
like
in this
Hollywood, and there's a
situation. I'd
bunch
be
of those
like,
Natashas walking around, and let me tell you, they're not clean.
No, and this is where like I play nudist rules. If you're gonna be nude like that, at least fucking put a towel down before sitting in my fucking in the
Yeah.
car. You know what I mean? Like,
It's polite.
yeah,
Yeah.
at least do the polite thing.
No, Sam.
yeah, I'd take it. I'd take care of her. Be like, don't you worry, we'll take it.
Easy.
What?
Easy now.
Hey, she is
Whoa.
clearly in,
Distress.
danger. Yeah,
Yeah.
distress. She needs help.
I'll take care of her.
Get your mind out of the
Distress.
gutter.
Yeah,
I mean, come on. Think about the movie we're covering right now.
I would
How could
take
it
her
not
to
be
a
there?
hospital or a police
Honestly.
station.
You're just another character in her movie.
Yeah, no, she would kill me for sure.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, do you think? Well, we'll get to it when she
Mhm,
finally does
we'll
get
get to it.
impregnated.
But this one was about where was I? So Alien Babe followed them there, or just knows they're there because now she's having one of her dreams. But this is a
Mhm.
sex dream about Madsen because he is now the object of her desire. What a man!
The smile
like
he
a
gives
good
her
match.
is so weird.
In the dream.
In the
Yeah.
dream,
Yeah.
I couldn't stop laughing.
Also, at this point, like she abducts the woman, changes clothes,
Yeah.
she pulls back up, and now she's observing the team and knows
Mhm.
that they're going to be back at the nightclub to hunt her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
She
reading
knows
lips.
that they're going to be set. Yeah,
Yeah, but we don't know that she's abducted this woman yet. She's just
in her
She-
clothes, in her car.
she was just in her car, and then suddenly she's out front of their place watching. Like I assumed she had killed the woman. We find out
Yes.
later
Not
that
yet.
yeah, she's just kidnapped her. Oh, actually, right here because it says
What does it say?
she awakes in bed next to the woman who she met when she was naked and appeared to take her car. The woman is tied up and begs to be let go, but Alien Babe cuts off her own thumb.
Mhm.
And then one of the
this whole
ladies-
sequence.
And her thumb grows back, and then she cuts off one of her ladies' thumbs.
Yes.
Guess this movie's a 2 out of 5. Before leaving, and then
Nice.
she's definitely up to something. She throws one of the thumbs away, keeps one in her purse.
You
What's
know,
she
throws
up
one in
to?
the purse for later.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I do like this, especially like where she's like, "Please just let me go. I don't want to hurt you." And she just deadpans like, "No, if you knew what I was, you would absolutely want to hurt me."
Mm.
And that's when she chops her own thumb off, and it instantly regrows. The woman's like, "Oh shit! Okay, I'm fucked." Like oh,
again,
no.
I
no.
honestly I see
thought that
worse
was dope
CGI
looking.
TA
I thought
today.
that was cool. Yeah.
Oh no,
I
that,
like it too.
this one wasn't as bad. You know what I mean? I think there's only a few like towards the very end, and that cocoon
Yeah.
scene I think is the weakest CGI. But this one, it didn't bother me. This one didn't feel like I was watching an episode of Reboot.
Oh, weird. I feel like this one is worse than the tentacle ones,
Oh,
even though I still like it. I'm just saying. To each their own, bad CGI. And she's definitely up to something. She's driving cars around, looking at stealing cars, getting
Getting
gas,
gas.
filling up containers with gas.
Oh, she's been
Looking at
Yeah, I
electrical
love it. She
boxes.
has the four things of gasoline or whatever. I was like,
they're
Jesus, what
fucking
is she?
huge.
I just want to amend something. Sorry, this is not going to make sense to you guys too much. So we just recorded this Patreon. Go join our Patreon. You'll be able to hear about this in our
Yes.
mailbag, in which we got to take villains on a road trip with us. I'm taking
Oh, shit.
Sill.
Alien Babe.
Alien Babe.
Still,
Nice.
Yeah, that's
I love
You think
this.
she'd be good
Yeah.
company? I mean, she'd probably be
she-
quiet.
Exactly.
And
That's my
she's not
quiet
going to hurt
pick.
you on the trip.
She's
She
not going
learned
to
to
hurt.
be.
Exactly. That was part of the thing. They can't hurt you
And
or like
she-
use their powers
yeah.
to do anything. So it's about
She
like
might be
hanging
a bit
out.
of a exhibitionist as well.
Yeah,
Would
the
it be
worst
bad
case
for the
scenario. like,
Randomly starts throwing her sweater out
sweater
the
off.
window.
You're like, oh my god, what?
yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Problem is you can't
Join the
stop
Patreon
her
to
from
hear the rest
trying
of
to yeah, mate with
I
people.
love this.
Yes.
On it. It's so cool.
That was a fun one.
All right. The G-men are staked out of the club, but the core four, or they're staked out at the club, but the
Mhm.
core four, they think it's a waste of time. Forrest Whitaker, the empath, he goes outside and finds Alien Babe.
Bagal.
She takes off in the car, and she's got the tied up lady in the car with her with the gas, and now we get a car chase.
The tied up woman is all the way tilted back so you can't see her, so you just see Syl. And I also like the fact that she intentionally hits every fucking thing on the way out of that garage, including like the guard thing.
Really
She didn't need to.
running into stuff. Why? Why do you think she did that?
Because she saw an action movie. So it was like hitting everything on its way out, and like the big goes, I gotta make this as theatrical as possible.
And it hits the electrical box on the TV too. Yes! I didn't even put that together. Oh my God.
I didn't either. That's
that
really
TV
funny.
Really is influential.
She's literally playing it exactly like the TV show.
That just boosted
the message
this a little.
is really about the power of the television, huh?
Yeah,
that actually made it a lot more campy and fun.
She learns everything. She learned how to drive when that guy was driving her home.
Yes!
Like she was.
She observed
his gear, pressing the gas, like pushing the buttons down. Like she was looking straight at it.
Oh, see, I didn't even catch that.
Asshole slash rapist. If he had the chance. All right. And this car chase she is going to lead him to the spot she scouted out earlier, drives off the road, down the side of the hill, jumps out of the car just before it crashes into an electrical box and explodes. For good measure, 2 helicopters that were chasing it hit it with rockets and really blow it up.
Yeah. I like the fact that it hits this thing with like, what was it, 5-gallon jugs of gasoline in this thing with this woman. It explodes like a 50-foot explosion. They're
this
like, wait a
is a
second.
90s ass explosion.
Well, we have the rockets.
Yeah, we have some rockets. I mean, we paid for the rockets.
Yeah,
They're going to give us more rockets.
HR Geiger, who's like, and I had to spend $100,000 of my own money.
Money to do this, and you guys spent it on these fucking rockets
for this other special effect, you motherfuckers.
I also do like the fact that fucking Syl does like a barrel roll out of the car, but she only lands like she's about 10 feet away in not a very disguised tree line when everyone comes up, where I'm like, I feel like you should have gotten a little more leeway out of that fucking car before just like sitting there, because I feel like everybody coming up on that accident would have just clearly have seen her, because the fireball illuminated like 1,000 like 100 million candles. Yeah.
She's all like,
oh wow, fireworks.
Firework. Like,
So all this, what she's been up to was to fake her death, and it worked.
Awesome.
At least it's good enough for Ben Kingsley, good old Burger King.
I love the fact that
not for our crack team though.
Everyone that he hired is like, this is not. I mean,
they're all
guess.
Suspicious.
And then he's just like, well,
nope.
It's done. Let's bang it
found
in.
a severed thumb in the car door. It's like, oh, she must have been trying to get out or something. And it's like, what about the body in the car?
What about
that was probably improv too. Ben Kingsley was probably just making up lines, and the director was like, "Wait, no, that's not.
Don't do that.
Wait, cut.
Well,
no, stop it.
Time to go. Who wants pancakes?"
Oh my gosh!
Well, we
like,
can't really tell because we blew up any remains with those 2 rockets. So any chance we had of identifying anything?
Of identifying.
That corpse is landing in Milwaukee somewhere.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, still flying. Still this day, still flying.
It's in orbit
on a
That's
clear winter's night. My grandpa always said if you looked out, you would.
Oh my god!
That sad thumbless lady.
Where my thumbs go?
Oh no!
I miss my.
If you're quiet enough, you can hear her. She crosses.
My thumbs. My thumbs on the wind.
Oh boy! Everybody goes down.
Alien Babe is now dying and cutting her hair, just like the commercial she saw.
Change.
That one they hammer home for us later. The action one they didn't. We needed Ross for that one. Core 4 is at the hotel bar celebrating that it's over. Lady Scientist and Michael Madsen, they've had sort of a flirty thing developing, which I actually think was pretty well paced and believable the way they do it with them. It's not like too much with these characters. Again,
well, also the only other point basis of sexual relations is like kind of rapey alien who's just kind of like, I need that man seed. I need to have a baby right the fuck now. Like these guys are like, okay, you know what? We're gonna do a little bit of flirting.
We're
bit
adults.
Of like,
we've been around, but
we've
they're
been
like
around.
totally like adults. You know what I mean? It's
we'll
not-
undress each other with our eyes. You know,
Yeah.
some witty banter back and forth, and then some dancing.
They're
Wait till the
setting an
mission's
example.
Exactly.
And I do like how forward she is too with him as well, and just very
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I want to get my rocks off like just as
Yeah,
much as
she's-
anyone in this movie.
great.
She's so hungry for dick, dude. When she pulls his
yes.
pants down, she literally she
she's-
makes the most aggressive noise. She's like
licking her
"Oh."
lips, like
Hungry
yeah,
eyes.
hungry eyes.
Yes.
She hadn't even pulled down the shorts yet when she did that.
She's so happy.
She's like,
Their
"Oh,
characters
mission."
are fun. She's like a strong woman that can
Yeah.
want to have her own sex.
Give it
Michael
and take
Madsen
it.
has the whole stuff
It
about
reminds me of the
docile.
the partner cop, sorry, from Kindergarten Cop. How she was so
Yes.
aggressive with
Yes.
her lover.
Yeah.
I do not recall.
You gotta brush up on
It's
that
been a while
Kindergarten
since
Cop,
I've
You
touched
gotta
a
brush
kindergarten cop, but yeah, we'll brush up on that.
So they seem to be finally getting together on the dance floor when Madsen thinks he sees Alien Babe across the room. So he runs over, but it's not her.
It just yells at just a random blonde.
Just a blonde lady. Because
he
he
does it this way,
doesn't know
like he
she
grabs
changed
her
her
and
hair.
like
Yes.
pulls
Yeah,
her around.
real
There's
good. She's
another
like, oh.
moment
He's like,
Oh,
oh, I
punches
thought you
her
were
in the
somebody
face.
else.
Just cold cocks her.
that he does.
Oh, I'm
It's like
sorry.
when
I thought you were another woman.
I thought you were this alien we killed with a rocket.
But then I think after this, he's like, whatever, she's dead, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're good.
Closure.
So, Lady Scientist is in the ladies' room when she unwittingly shares perfume with Alien Babe. Because Alien Babe wants Michael Madsen real bad. She sees that those two are maybe a thing, so she's like, wants this perfume. She says, oh, does this make your boyfriend like you? And what does she say? It's like a funny little retort.
A repellent. She goes,
yeah,
no, it's
more
a
like
repellent.
a repellent. Yeah.
But I do like the fact that, like, for a split second, I thought we were going to get another spinal dislodge scene.
Yeah.
Except the other two women come into the bathroom. So she's kind of like, all right, cool. I'll just take a spritz and go.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, she wanted to rip her spine out. She was like,
Oh,
she
yeah.
was ready to.
He took a spritz, not a spine this time.
Yes.
Spritz her spine. It's her version of trick or treat.
Trick or treat. Spritz your spine.
Spritz her spine.
The spinal
Spritz.
spritz.
So, Lady Scientist decides to go up to her room, and with Forrest Whitaker's encouragement, Madsen follows him up there. I do like the little funny character stuff with the Long Island iced teas, and he doesn't drink. And yeah, it's
like these teas.
these are good teas. Yeah, that's all fun little silliness that I enjoy. And how do I say this? I'm just gonna say it. He does a good drunk, and his little lazy eye thing seems to get a little lazier when he's pretending to be drunk.
Yeah, it sure
Forrest
does.
Whitaker.
It's just kind of winking the whole time.
Yeah, it gets more half-mast. Good job. So, Madsen doesn't know, but he rides in the elevator with Alien Babe. She's in there with him, and they go all the way up, and she follows him off the hotel, but he gets into the room just before it closes.
His mercenary senses were tingling a little bit. Like, you could tell that he's like, all right.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
He's kind of eyeing her,
I like your perfume.
doing that Madsen
Weird.
squint.
Yeah.
Maybe
What
that's
is
just how
that?
he looks at people.
He was trying to like see if it really matched like his girlfriend's perfume.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
And he smelled it.
Excuse me, ma'am. Do you mind if I get another snort of you? Real quick? I need to,
Yeah.
I need to get a new
I was like, is he
cross-
drunk or is he confused? Like, I don't get this
Right.
part.
Yeah.
It just did they all forget what she looked like? Like really, the hair dye took it
Yeah.
all
The
out
dye
of it.
job?
Did enough for me. All these pretty ladies look the same.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
That's a missed opportunity. That should have been one of the producers of this film, like having a Maybelline version of this.
Oh yeah.
That's
Maybe
the
she-
actual tagline.
Maybe she's genetically mutated. Maybe it's
she's
Maybelline.
Yeah.
So she just misses him as he gets in the room, and now he and Lady Scientist are making it official. This is when we get what we've talked about, where they're like
Door slapping.
going for
giggling.
it. They're pulling clothes off. We see her boobs for a second. We see her like staring at his package, going over on her knees to pull down his undies. It's like, all right.
I like the
about to do their thing.
The knee hustle where she's still on her knees and does it like that. She's like, all right, cool. Stand up.
So you had trivia or something about this?
Oh yeah, you ready for the best part?
Yes.
Michael Madsen and Marge Hellenberger were allowed to improvise their sex scene. So all of this,
fully practiced.
So that's
came
how she
from them.
actually gets down.
This was they were like, oh yeah, this is how we want
They're
it to
like,
be.
just do whatever's in your mind. Just do the first thing that comes in your mind.
How you normally would have sex in a hotel.
That's
Just do
awesome.
that.
I love it
Yeah.
so much more. I love Marge forever now because of this. That she was
Forever
like,
now.
yeah, she's showing you
Knowing
that's a
that this
strong
is how
woman
she
who can-
rolls.
Yeah.
you know,
It's a nice,
or at
it's a
least
nice little peek
play a
behind the
character
curtain.
that way. You know,
Right.
And
right.
it was funny because it's supposed to be like good, nice, clean sex between two folks, and it's still gross. It's like still porn.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like, yes, get it. Take that off.
it does.
Gross.
Yeah, it's
Do you
Do you think in the
Still
back of their
porn.
minds they're going to be like, this alien isn't going to out-sex me? Fuck this thing. Humans can be kinky.
Humans,
Let's
yeah.
do this.
Yeah. And she's listening at the door.
Yes.
So yeah, they start getting down to business, and Alien Babe snuck into the room next door to listen because she's into that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When
like the
suddenly
Mothman.
male scientist shows up, who is Alfred Molina.
Mm-hmm.
He is turns out it's his room that she's in because that's
I
next door to
stole
the
the
other room.
key. I waited for you while just slowly under. You have been chasing a horny alien for the last 3 fucking days, and then your hotel room shows up to a woman who just takes her clothes off. Wouldn't you be moderately hesitant about like trying to shack up with that? I mean, he's been
They
trying
were
to get
chasing
laid
a blonde
the whole
woman.
fucking-
This woman is a brunette or
Burnett.
Yeah.
blackish hair.
Yeah.
And the woman they're
Shorter.
chasing, they found a thumb. Like,
And also, Alfred Molina probably looked right in the mirror before he walked into his hotel room.
Yeah.
And like, yo,
I would never in my life again, have this
He
opportunity.
says to her, I'm sorry, this kind of thing normally doesn't happen to me.
bless his heart. He's so sweet.
It's really
He's such a sweet guy. I love Alfred Molina. I think he's such a
great
black
guy.
in this
Yeah.
movie. Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
if you're gonna go,
So they start banging.
I do
Yeah.
think part of him also kind of knew and didn't care.
Yeah.
He's like,
Maybe.
it could be her.
What?
Whatever.
I think honestly, yeah, like this guy's from
Yeah,
Harvard.
you're
He's
right.
like, when am I gonna have kinky alien sex? And the answer is never. So it's like, might as
Never.
well.
because they're all supposed to be pretty drunk too, right? At this point.
Like, how is that going to hurt him? You know, like she's going to get pregnant. Walk away. Who cares? You'll never
Yes.
see her again.
Yeah, just go. Just go.
Well,
Yeah.
Cut to 2 weeks
Call-
later, the human
call me.
race is
Money's on the dresser.
enslaved from like an alien race, and he's like,
Oh.
Little did you know.
Oh my god! He's just
What is
getting
it? Fools rush in.
Uh-huh.
yeah.
just get kidnapped by aliens and get permanently milked. That would be terrible, even for a British guy like that.
Right?
So Alfred Molina, more IMDb behind the scenes. Alfred Molina recalled Natasha Henstridge was nervous on the day of filming because it was her first sex scene, which makes sense. It's her first theatrical movie. Molina lightened the mood by telling her that it was also his first straight sex scene because his only previous sex scene was with a man in a movie called Prick Up Your Ears from 1987.
Oh,
Really?
All right, Molina.
Googling, prick up your ears.
yeah.
Interesting.
Ooh,
That's super
Yeah.
dope.
that's
I
awesome.
didn't know that. Yeah, that's really
Me
interesting.
neither. I did not know
Prick
that.
up your
Do we
ears.
know if
I love
he's
him in
gay or
Boogie
straight?
Nights. No. I
Oh.
thought he was great in Boogie Nights.
Yeah.
Oh, he has a
He's great in everything.
Oh, he was
Yeah.
so fucking unhinged and so good at Boogie Nights.
It's so fucking just fucking so high on cocaine.
Cocaine, yeah. And now I'm just picturing him getting ridden by an alien, just lighting off fireworks, or having
Yeah.
someone in the room lighting off fireworks, just like around him.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, he was ready for this day. She was so nervous, and he's like, "Let's go! Woo! What are we waiting for?
Let's
Let's
do
go!
this! Woo!
Let's do this!"
I don't know if that would make me more comfortable. This wasn't my first straight sex scene, but I did have a sex scene with a guy
Yeah.
10
Right.
years ago.
Just
Are
like,
you ready?
You're gonna do great.
I
I
only
wonder
know
who
this
it was
position.
I
He
only
stars,
know
he
this-
stars in this movie with Gary Oldman and Wallace Shawn. So
I hope it was Gary Oldman for his
I
sake.
hope it was Wallace Shawn.
That is an actor's actor. You know what? I mean, I hope they both got nominated for
Inconceivable.
Oscars if it was Wallace Shawn. Holy hell.
What if it was all three? What if
it was all three?
Ooh.
Prick for
Oh,
prick. What was the
wow.
movie called?
right?
Prick for ears.
Prick up your ears. Prick for ears.
Stick a prick up your ears.
Prick
It's
your
gonna
ears.
prick out the ears. Actually,
It's got
it's
prick
like
for
the whole
ears?
thing is they got prick out the ears. That's
I don't
super
even-
gay.
It's a different podcast episode. Man, oh man.
All right. Forrest Whitaker sees the hair dye commercial, and this compels him to go to Madsen and Lady Scientist's room. He tells them there that he knows the male scientist is next door banging alien babe. He just feels it in his empathy bones. But Alfred Molina's in there, and he just finished in Alien Babe, and
It's
it
such
works
a
great
fucking.
because she feels a baby inside.
She can feel
It's
it
such
in
a
there.
British fucking thing. Where he goes, "Oh, that was quite nice, thank you."
Listen, my darling girl. Ugh.
Like that was like, what a fucking British way to climax. I mean, oh, jolly good fun. Oh, goody.
That was very
Yeah.
funny. I'm glad you mentioned that. I also laughed at that both times I watched it.
Oh, and then him just trying to be super nice. He goes, "Well, I know that in certain cultures they feel that like life starts at conception."
You can
like that.
notice right
No,
away,
no,
but
this,
trust.
this.
No.
She's like, "No,
feel
feel
my
it."
belly. It's like,
And
you're
then the
right.
spines and the thing.
Yeah.
That's when that happened.
That
That's
looks
when
so
right
cool,
away
too.
it's like this chick is looking for somebody to impregnate her, and you still don't get it. Like it's not clicking in your head. Like she's like,
Right.
"I'm pregnant. It's happening.
Talk
like
about-
it's happening. Touch it."
Right, you're still not
the
like, wait.
worst post nut clarity you could possibly have.
Yeah,
is
he
that-
doesn't
that-
have it.
No,
No, he
not at
does
all.
not have
He goes,
it.
"Oh, this is fun. Oh, great.
That was
Oh,
lovely. Jolly
Trouble
oh.
getting laid.
Let me touch your tummy."
Oh, Jolly-o.
What the hell?
Oh, tummy out.
All right. So,
Tummy out.
but she kills him real quick, and then just as Madsen's about to break down the door, she busts through the wall into the hotel
Oh yeah.
hall. And now Whitaker, BK, Madsen, and Lady Scientist are now searching for Alien Babe in the hotel basement. They find an open manhole and follow her into the sewers. They all
Yeah,
look
they
around
tool
the
up.
sewer water for a while when Kingsley is surprise attacked and killed. Rest in peace to the Burger King.
Dude,
They move
They
on.
all tooled up before they went down here too. They got like
Tool up big time.
They broke into the van. They got all like the flamethrowers and the shotguns and all that kind of shit. I also like the fact that
Love
they
it.
didn't question Forrest Whitaker's credibility until they're in this subterranean thing. He goes, "What the fuck do you know? You don't know shit." And you're just
right?
like, you've been following this dude's lead for fucking 3 days.
And it's
No
just
problem.
the guy who hired him that doesn't believe him either. The other two are like, okay, he said this way, I'll go this way.
Let's go this way.
Right. Yeah, I don't know what Kingsley's problem is all of a sudden because he's got to go to work. He's not getting paid, I think, at this point.
He hesitated.
'Cause
They
it's
well,
like-
he's
Oh,
drunk. That's the problem.
That is.
I wonder where Ben Kingsley was at mentally in this time of
What
his
about
life.
this?
I think we need to do a
Great
little bit of
question.
investigating.
Yeah.
I think
See if we
at
can get him on the
one-
pod and ask him.
Be like, dude,
Oh, we
how
should.
are you feeling during this
He
film? 'Cause it
listens.
seems you're a minute. It seems that you kind of checked out a little bit.
What movie?
Do you remember any of this? Yeah.
Right.
Ooh. He's like,
Texting.
no.
What year?
Yeah, what year was this? I don't know.
Probably doesn't remember anything after Gandhi.
after
been a long
after
time.
Gandhi, it was a blur.
As they search, we see Syl has gone full alien. So she doesn't look at human at all anymore. It's her full alien form. Now they find a crack in the sewer that apparently there was like an earthquake that opened a crack to some caverns. So now they're going in these caves under this
Where are we
hotel in
going?
LA.
Yeah.
They follow Syl in there. Syl seems to be having a difficult pregnancy, but it's just giving birth is actually what's happening already.
Goo.
She gives birth.
It's okay.
So
So like
minutes later.
it's that
Yeah.
like the howling pains was one thing, and then like her stomach, and then when her chest plate
Just bursts out.
shifts
Yeah.
out, and this like this lump fetus thing starts coming out of her sternum. Super air, like it just remind me of Aliens because obviously like
Mhm.
the chest
It's
bursters
that
pop out the
booger
same way.
influence.
Yeah. It's that. God
Mhm.
damn it! God damn it! Sam.
So my question is, did she die?
No.
She didn't, right?
It seems
No,
like
no.
from what they shot, it seemed like she dies, but she totally doesn't because she's romping
She
around,
doesn't, right?
and like scaling walls and like.
No. I mean, like at the end of. Okay, never. We're not there yet. Okay, sorry.
Oh, at the end.
I was like,
no,
wait.
she's worked. Yeah.
This is just the her giving birth.
Right.
So she's
Okay.
out of commish for a second, and we get our
Okay,
weird
yeah.
little baby.
But I thought, like, when we see the son as in full alien form later, I thought it was her post-birth, but it wasn't, I guess. We'll get to it. It's right around here. Syl, now they find a crack in the sewer. They follow Syl in there. Syl gives birth. Now our team has made it into some chamber where Syl and the baby are hiding. The team searches, and we see a gooey 2-year-old boy tongue spike a rat.
This is
I've never
super
laughed.
fucking confusing to me because like you have Forrest Whitaker who pokes his head up, and then it's just a goo-covered naked child, and he's like, "What's going on?" He's like, "I don't know what that is." Where you're like, clearly this is like, there's not
Like,
just like, yeah.
There shouldn't be a kid in a cavern. Just shoot it.
Just shoot
like
it.
you're pointing the gun right at it, and you're still like, I
Just
don't
nuke
know,
it, dude.
Like, yeah, honestly,
Spear tongue was actually fantastic though. Like
yeah.
it reminded me of like a
Really?
fucking chameleon because it's like slinking around and then it goes. Ooh,
Oh,
fuck.
you're right. I was thinking frog, but it absolutely is chameleon.
Yeah, that part was really cool.
And just,
Right?
I also
Like,
like the fact they don't show like it. Just, they just go back to him and like,
We left at the chewing too.
Yeah, you better watch what you're given with
Yeah.
a little kid.
We're like, holy shit, the way he chews.
They're like, and go.
I feel they shot it and they'd be like, "Here's a whole wad of like Big League Chew. Just chew on this."
yeah.
And then,
Forrest Whitaker finds the kid, but the kid tries to attack him, and he sets it on
Tongue punch it.
fire. He is also now hanging on the edge of a tall rock face. Oh, so this is when the kid is in the full alien form.
Dude, when he starts mutating, where it's like the 2-year-old's body. But
Oh,
then
that
it's
looks
got
so
the
cool. He's got
adult
like
arm.
the long arm on the one side.
Oh yeah.
I really
Super
like that. And the
super
like bony,
Cronenberg-y.
spiky head.
Yeah.
That part was cool. It
The
looked like
ribs look
what-
weird.
it looked like JoJo Siwa kind of like the face paint.
Yes.
You guys see like those JoJo Siwa like anything lately. Like
It
that was the
almost
first thing I
gave
thought
like
of.
obviously it didn't want to die, but it had like a churtle kind of like vibe to it because it's like because it just had like the fucking like it's got the normal human eyeball and then the half thing and it's all gangly and shit where it's like part of me
Kill
was like
me.
it wants to feed and the other part was like please put me out of my fucking
I know,
misery.
it's like-
I can't. Oh god.
It was a normal looking
Kill
kid and
me.
it transformed to that.
It's like one of the dysfunctional toys from Toy Story.
Yeah.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
ones that,
Toys.
what's his name? The little neighbor puts together.
Sid.
Yes, Sid.
Yeah.
Please end my existence.
Madsen, Scylla, and Lady Scientist are all headed to the action when Syl sends a titty tentacle out to choke Madsen. So this is
there
when
they are.
the titty tentacle happens.
Titty tentacles with
fires
reservoir.
out, chokes
Well, they also
him.
have like reservoir tips, which is hilarious to me because
the
I didn't
nipples,
notice.
right?
Yeah,
or the
well, it's like
tentacles themselves.
the tentacles because like the nipples pop out, so it's like it's almost like
We're gonna call him
So is it a proper tentacle
They're like-
with a pad?
well, it's no. It's like it's almost got like an ET finger look. It looked like little. It's like dick nipples.
Oh,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? But like they
No.
come out and start strangling. It was yeah.
It's like a duck dick.
nipples, you
I don't know if you guys ever seen like duck dicks.
Yeah,
Are
actually,
those like the corkscrew ones?
it's
They're
yeah.
like fucking horns, dude. Like
Yeah,
those that
yeah.
you blow for New Year's, like those little like horns that
Yeah,
they
yeah.
like roll out. It's like the
Roll
weirdest
out.
shit, but they have like that tone.
I'm
out.
forever. I
My
am forever
duck
going to
homies
think that just
With
it's
their
just
cocks
duck,
out.
just duck dicks shooting out of her nipples
Say it.
and murdering people. Oh my god! Did that guy just get duck dicked
In the face.
in the face?
Even damn.
But he cuts off the titty tentacle and shoots Syl a bunch of times till she falls into the fire below. Madsen and Lady Scientist start pulling Whitaker up, and just before he's safe, Syl jumps up and grabs his leg. Madsen delivers a line, let go of him, motherfucker, before blowing her head off.
Oh, that's when she fucking
Yeah.
dies, of course.
Well,
Okay.
she blows. That's when she should have.
I was like, wait.
We shouldn't have seen no more than the head being blown up, but the whole body like falling into
And
the
we see
fire.
the
was,
whole
like,
thing fall
Right.
back in slow motion with
But also-
I just
good
in,
coming out.
in an unventilated cavern that's filled with oil. The second that fucking thing would have been lit, wouldn't the entire fucking room would have just been engulfed in flames?
Yeah, that's what happened to a freeway out here in Los Angeles. A truck exploded right in the middle of it, and it's one of those long freeways that it's like a tunnel.
Yeah,
and that's what happened. The truck exploded, and there, both sides erupted in fire, and everybody inside of the tunnel burned.
Yeah,
yeah.
I would figure like if you got a lagoon of gas, basically, and oil, like the second I like the fact he goes, I'm gonna flush this thing out. He's like, I would slowly back out of that cavern and just light it on fire.
Well, they've already had the burning flame in it. It's been going this whole time.
See, that's where the suspenders of disbelief go in for, because like it would have just blown up. I don't think it would have just like lightly be lit. Yeah, exactly.
What would have just blown up?
The whole cave. Is
there just gas in there?
No, there's the crude oil in there. There's the oil. So
that's what's burning, right?
Yeah, that's what would blow up. Is what I'm
gonna say. The vapors on top. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, alas, it seems to be over. We see our 3 people leaving the sewers. There's a funny looking rat, and its tongue spears another rat. End credits. Does anybody have any final thoughts before we move on to our crematorium of questions?
Did anybody want to see a species rat? Because I like for a split second, I would have liked to see like a Sam
like with the spiked back,
a booger style rat would be hilarious.
Yes,
that would be great.
Except with 6 duck dick nipples shoot out.
Oh man, no way! You gotta watch Dead Alive.
Yeah, you've got the bite.
Yeah,
Zingaya.
Which they just covered on their show. Check that out.
Zingaya.
Oh god. That's fun. That's one of my favorites.
Let's go ahead and move on to the next bit that we have to do. Welcome back. It's time for the crematorium of questions. This is where we ask things, and we do the same ones. Let's get it going.
Let's do it.
Do it.
How would we survive this one? / how many be sacrificed?
Be nice to the alien?
Yeah, I don't think I have sex to worry. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all married men. Well, the Chuttlemen are all married men. You guys are safe.
We're basically married.
Yeah.
We're basically saved from her.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's your problem.
Unless you're moving to her for some reason.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. I feel like if we held a door open,
we'll compliment the shit out of her.
100%.
Like, you choose. Where'd you get your hair done? Every single thing. You looking for men? We know exactly where to take.
I met Natasha Henstridge once. I have an autograph in a lunchbox somewhere. She was really sweet. I feel like it would.
Oh, that's lovely.
It would be fun.
He's already being nice.
Yeah. You know what? I think
What did she sign?
like the back of a Johnny Rockets receipt.
That's
awesome.
Yeah.
That's fun.
I don't even know how it happened.
Yeah.
Silly.
I
don't remember anything about it except that.
Right.
It's like she's supposed to sign the receipt. That's how it happened.
It's because it was she was leaving a tip.
That's not an autograph. That's her actual
You're
receipt.
supposed to, the restaurant's supposed to keep that.
Yeah. Well, no. That's not clear. It does say to Stanley from Natasha Henstridge. It's not her fucking credit card receipt. Oh my god!
I know.
It took a second to realize you might be making fun of me.
Yeah.
No, we're playing.
Yes. Anyway,
Give it back.
I think we would all survive.
Yeah,
I think
all
she would
nice
like
enough.
her
like
spider
that.
senses would go off on me and be like, "That is not viable." I do not.
Sure.
like
Yeah.
She would be pregnant.
I
as
don't
shit.
need none of that.
She would be pregnant as fuck, like with you guys.
Oh yeah,
Like,
she'd
pass it
look at
on.
Brian and get pregnant. You kidding me?
Your weekend.
Be like, well, I'm done.
Oh boy. Move on.
How do you make the film gooier?
I mean,
Show us more of the deaths, make it bloodier, toss in more alien goo.
Yes,
I think green blood.
exactly.
Green blood would have
totally.
been more effective.
More green
yeah,
blood.
that's what I was gonna say.
That'd be fun.
They could have been a little bit more excessive with the. They could have been less shy with the blood.
Yeah.
Yes.
As opposed to the nudity. Like they were really excessive with the nudity.
They probably
Gave us Jaws and the
Had one or the other.
Yeah.
Probably
That-
sacrifice the blood for the
or
nudity.
just like made it even.
a real
To get the
Friday the
R rating.
13th Part 5 problem.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Best
Oh
ever.
man.
Yeah.
Good problem to have
best
right
ever.
there. All right.
Sam loves it.
Villain level
I
1
love
through
it.
10 Power level 1 through 5, iconography 1 through 5, 10 total. Power level is strong, like a
strong. 3? Yeah, I could say a 3. I mean, she definitely has physical strength. She is strong physically. She has
She's
tentacles.
peeling apart
She can,
steel doors,
depending on her
tentacles.
form
change
and all
her
that.
look. Yeah,
Depending on who you are, you can just be like
very
sucked into
intelligent.
her. Yeah.
I mean, first kill.
Yeah, it takes her like a bit to kill her. Flames and like and
jumps
then a
through a steel
shotgun blast
door.
in the face. But yeah, so she's pretty strong, but she is killable.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm fine with a 3.
3.5. 3.
You're doing a 3.5.
Yeah, why not?
What do you
Fuck it,
guys
I'm
think?
doing-
How
I'm doing-
strong?
I'm doing a
1 through
4.
5?
because
Whoa.
it's she's super strong. Well, she's super strong. She can adapt insanely well to her surroundings. She has camouflage. And at the rate that, like, literally, she was able to reproduce within an hour. So it's like, if she kind of was left to her own devices, like, this would be a extinction level creature. So, like, I feel that, like, the power level just by power and reproduction knocks her up. Not God tier, but I feel like it hits a 4 because
That's awful close.
unchecked could kill the whole planet.
Good point.
Sure.
Yeah.
Lots of things unchecked
say
could
the-
kill the
I
whole
would
planet.
say the same.
Yeah,
Dear.
but Jason Voorhees would take a while. Like,
Unchecked could kill the whole planet.
I mean, unchecked.
unchecked. Yeah.
Iconography.
That's the name.
Sorry, do you guys have a power level?
I would say probably about a 4 as well.
I would agree with a 4.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Strength is intense.
Unchecked.
Yeah, that's the strength alone.
From initiation to me is like she's just powerful.
Yeah.
A couple of Rosses over here.
Yes, ma'am.
Iconography. Iconography meaning not necessarily like how iconic is it in pop culture, but just how the design is it.
Mhm.
How iconic do you think it is?
I mean, I mean, culturally, like pop culture wise, I would say it's like it's like a 3.5 because you recognize it. I think the poster itself is recognizable, but I think it's like a blatant ripoff.
Yeah, it's like Alien stepsister.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like it's just like
But
it's
is it
so
a
similar.
ripoff if it's the same family? The same guy.
That's a very good
you know?
question.
Because this
because
almost-
it's like you can't see it from yourself.
Yeah,
Because if
it's
you just
almost
look
like-
at Geiger's work, it just looks like a alien
Geiger's
ripoff.
It
Like,
all looks
like
like
anything
Alien,
that he's
yeah.
just doing in general. He's like, here's my
So it's
eye,
like
and
if-
it's like,
so it's
it looks
like if-
it's from
it's
the
'cause
Alien
it-
movie,
Okay.
Yeah. It's like if Tim Burton
right?
did the special effects for a bunch of different people, you would know it's Tim Burton's work.
Right. That's
Sure,
exactly.
right. And if
but
if he
it's just
became
you
really
wanna know.
famous
It is.
for
It
one
really
thing
is, though.
first,
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
'Cause
it's everything so. It's all we all know it for Alien. We know
That
H.R.
bioorganic
Bueller
is
because of
to it.
Alien. Yeah.
Yeah.
is so, yeah.
No, I agree. I think a 3.5 is, yeah. I don't know.
I think
For
you
me,
nailed
it's
it. Yeah, I'll go with that too.
I'll
Yeah.
give her a
Right,
4.
Brian?
4. Yeah.
I was going 4.
Ooh.
So I'm at 6.5
I see 3.
out of 10.
That's a 7.5 for me total. So 7.5 out of 10, I think works.
Yeah, 7.5. I'm digging that. Yeah, I feel like the iconography could have been boosted up a little bit because, like, you don't really, shy of like the end, don't actually see her final form. Like, if you had seen that a little more sprinkled throughout the movie, I feel like her iconography would be pumped up. But like, you
I
see
think
her
her
human form.
Human form is part
Oh,
of
that's
her
true, too.
iconography
Yeah.
too.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's a big
Yeah,
part
like
of
the cheeks,
Damn knockers.
but the cheeks as an alien.
Yes. Oh, that
that-
sinking. Like, ooh.
or as Sam says
Yeah,
too, the
yeah.
knockers.
Yeah, those are some iconic boobs, my man.
I mean, he's not wrong. I mean, that is a big
Bada-bum.
part of what the movie is, and that is pretty iconic in that sense too. So I think, yeah, human form warrants it as well, and
Fun.
tentacles.
We have
Mhm.
fun. Should it have a sequel? We know it has sequels. Should it have a sequel, and what
I
is
don't-
your sequel? If we didn't know, just pretend there's only one movie.
Okay,
This one's-
I would say the sequel would be now there's 2 of them being like grown up because there's 2 embryos that they froze that they talked about in the beginning of the movie.
Right.
So they unfreeze those and then do one in isolation and then do one that's actually like integrated with human beings.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of that nature
Are they
versus
Natasha
nurture.
Hester? Are they the actress who plays Syl playing these.
No,
new
I would.
ones.
Well, I would do twins, as in like get some twin actors or
Twins,
actresses.
But they're
So-
never in the same scene, right? For the most part, they're like in different places, so
Not-
you can
not
get
in
away
my-
with the same actor.
Not in my movie. I mean, if they're together, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that would be kind of a cool juxtaposition of like having a good alien versus a bad alien, and still having
Right,
that
but you're
kind of
saying
thing.
one's integrated in society, one's like being remote, so you don't need the actors to actually be twins, is what I was saying.
Oh, true. Well,
I don't know. I would do like an under the sewer, the city of LA. There's like a big nest of eggs, and then we go back to this scene where she's seen somebody get roofied, and she learned that, and she roofied somebody, but we never saw that sex scene happen. So it's just like a memory happening now.
Oh, wow, yeah.
no, whoa.
How she just like, there's eggs underneath
Everywhere.
the city that we never heard about.
Species 2, eggs everywhere.
Nice.
Yeah. The roofie.
LA gets fucked.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I like that. That's a good tagline. I
LA
like it.
gets
So
fucked.
I don't think it needed I wouldn't have given it a sequel.
Left it alone.
I think that I mean, it of course it's a movie that would spawn so many of them, you know.
Oh, totally.
And sure, and it's just like it's like a Children of the Corn movie. It doesn't need them, but
Yeah.
They get them.
what do you do with a second one?
Sure.
You know, you can't think of something off the top of your head, but of course,
Apparently,
something will happen.
Cavern full of eggs into the city.
I love your ideas.
yeah, even Michael
Great
Madsen
scene.
thinks the sequels are lousy, but they were a paycheck.
I did like
know,
the
yeah,
sequel
the second
though.
one.
I would say part 2 is as far as you can actually.
And Marge is in the second one.
10 minutes in, you're done.
You said Anne Margaret?
No, and
Marge.
Marge. I Hedgenberger.
Oh, I thought you said Anne
Margaret.
Margaret is in the second
That
one. I
would've
was
been
like,
wild.
really?
And Margaret as well.
And that's an intense.
Species
That's
two.
an intense casting choice.
Would you buy the soundtrack or score on vinyl?
I
Yes.
can't remember.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I can't remember it, so I feel like I.
Why do I feel like I've heard it before? It sounds something
It's
about
very
it.
familiar. It's reminiscent of other stuff, right? It kind of reminded me.
Christopher
I was trying
Young.
to place it. If it was Terminator 2 or what.
Something
go
was
ahead.
there. So that's why I was like, yeah, I could get. I liked it. So it's like I
He does so much good stuff. He's great.
You know who it
So it's like-
is?
Yeah, that was like one of the big qualities. Yeah, it's Christopher Young. He does like Hellraiser. He did Flowers in the Attic. He did the new Pet Cemetery.
okay.
Okay.
He's in a whole bunch.
Shit,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to give a re-listen to this. I just completely like Charlie Brown parent voice just like glazed over the entire soundtrack.
I
of this
definitely
fucking movie.
noticed it for sure. I would
Yeah.
only buy it in one of those situations of like this really cool vinyl that looks like all
Yeah.
special somehow. It's got spikes.
Special
up on it.
vinyl,
it's
bro.
just-
Yeah, man.
It's the like graphic vinyl of like the Cocoon, but it's goo filled.
Oh, it's graphic.
Yeah, it has to be like hieroglyphic.
It looks
not
like
hieroglyphic. What's
boobs.
the word?
It looks like Natasha Henstridge's
Yeah.
boobs.
Like, oh, you're
Yeah,
talking about the
hieroglyphic.
holographic ones where you kind of like move it.
Thank you.
Yes.
Hieroglyphics. Not the right word.
Oh, God, what is lenticular?
Mm.
That's what it's called. When it does that.
Lenticular?
Thank you.
Lenticular, yeah. I only know that because comic book covers have lenticular covers, and I had to know that once
I
upon a
appreciate it.
time. Is anything action figure worthy?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do they not have an action figure of this? I would think that they would.
Seems like they
yeah,
would.
no,
Mid 90s was a
Alien
good
mode is
time
like-
for coming out with
McFarlane-
adult movie
Yeah.
action
Yeah.
figures.
No,
Yeah.
McFarlane had a movie Maniacs for Species. I
Right.
feel, or Species
Okay,
2 or
'cause
something like
I
that.
had like Freddy
So,
Krueger.
I think I had that doll. I had all those
Species
like
2.
Spawn dolls.
Oh, that was
McFarlane,
Yeah.
McFarlane was for Species 2.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
So was it Eve? Was it the Eve doll or was it the
I think it's the,
in
I think
in
it's the
sequel
guy.
called Eve?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's still
Oh.
her, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same actress.
I'll look this up.
Cool.
But yes.
What merch / prop / promo item would you want from the film?
I want a shirt that has the like things that stick out of the back.
Oh, that would.
Oh, one of the back
Yes.
tentacles.
That'd
That'd
be
be a
fun.
cool prop.
Back
like a
tentacles.
hoodie with the spines.
Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be.
but I want them to be sharp.
I'll take a tentacle.
Ooh,
Just have that on the wall.
Identical.
I could.
Oh
Prop.
yeah.
I would take the alien form of her. There's got to be some like mannequin of that.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'd get
Oh,
prop.
the severed, the
The spine.
spine one. Yeah, the practical effect.
Oh,
from
that would be
that.
cool too.
I don't know. I
I
would
get
have to take the tongue part.
alien rat.
Mm.
I would get the species rat. Like that.
Oh,
whatever
yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be
yeah.
good.
With the chameleon.
Yes.
tongue.
I bet this would have been a cool cardboard cutout, one of those stand-up things from the movie theater days. That would have been really cool.
For
That
sure.
would have been fucking awesome.
What would you do at the midnight showing? Let's see. I don't know.
At the midnight
I
showing?
can't think of
A
anything to.
midnight showing.
There's certainly a few lines you could yell out with the movie, but I don't know what you would throw at the screen. Condoms?
I don't know
Condoms. Yes, condoms. Prophylactics every time she's trying to have sex with someone. We're like, don't raw dog it, man. That's what she wants. Just throw the condoms at the
Yeah,
screen.
safe sex for sure.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Because this is all about like not having kids.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
This is a Planned Parenthood.
Every time there's an attempted scene, everyone screams, "Don't nut!
Save that
I'll throw some
seed.
Save that
Yeah.
seed! Save that seed!"
And of course, what's the popcorn bucket for this movie?
Oh, the
Bonus
cocoon.
points if it's fuckable.
Cocoon. Just a really gross cocoon that you have to dig your hand into, and then you get the popcorn out of.
Gross.
Yeah, I think that would be gross and good.
I mean, it certainly
Yeah.
fit both options. Yucky.
Yucky. Ooh.
Yeah, I kind of like that too.
Yeah.
I kind of like that too. That would be like,
gross.
I think that would fit like any sort of alien themed film.
Totally.
Totally.
You could also, I mean, realistically
Yeah,
have her
pretty
head
creative.
as in like the full alien species
The
one,
head would be
and then
dope.
just the mouth
Yeah.
open, so you just have to,
Yeah. Yeah.
so you can just
Perfect.
dive in with your hand or other stuff.
What? Like what?
Other stuff. It is multi-purpose.
It's a multi-purpose. Yeah, just wash in between.
Hold my red vines at the same
Just
time.
wash in
There
between.
you go.
The red vines.
All right. Well, that wraps up the crematorium. We'll move along to our ratings. And because it's time for our ratings, we can go ahead and hear the ratings thing.
I only want your fingers.
Should we all, cut our fingers open and bleed on it?
Can you wrap your fingers around this?
I'll take a Voorhees burger and a side of Jason's fingers.
Show them.
On this show, we like to use a rating scale of 0 to 5 fingers. Each finger represents a different quality about a movie. You can chop off half a finger, no fingers, whole finger, quarter finger, something like this. These ratings are intended to be subjective on how we feel about a movie. It does not matter if the movie is objectively good or bad. And we are going to kick our ratings off with the person I've been most curious for, Brian.
Most curious.
You're my most curious. Who I'm like, well, how did Brian feel about Species? I gotta know.
I like how you went to prospector, Sam.
Yeah. We
I
get
got
there.
lost.
All right. So engaging. I'm going to go ahead and give that a 0.75 because, like I said, there's stuff that could be trimmed. As much as I'm engaged with it, I would like that to be trimmed so that I could be, fully engaged the whole time. I think would be great. Sticky. Again, maybe about a 0.5 because I think I remember a lot of this movie melding together and thinking a lot of things happened in different places, but I certainly obviously remember this movie for what it is and just everything about that. T-shirtable. I think this one could get a full 1. I mean, I'd wear a Species shirt, and I think there's a lot of cool designs that you could do. Sans nudity, or both, or go fucking wild and just have tits out and
Yeah,
go
just get
for
one
it.
of those shirts where it looks like you have
Boobs
you're
and
just
Alien-
Natasha.
alien breath.
These are not just boobs. These are Natasha Hedstridge's boobs from the 1995.
Get the licensing for
Alien.
that. I wonder. Yeah, we'll get the licensing and then just a Species underneath. Right, that's the shirt. That'd be fun.
Species. I said alien. See,
right? Cockles. This is tricky because,
Tricky.
I do like this movie for just being this cheesy kind of team up 90s sci-fi horror movie, and I think it does that very well. And then you throw in the fun sex stuff, and 13-year-old Brian is loving it, and I think 38-year-old Brian is having a decent enough time. I was worried that The sex stuff would make me feel like super icky, and I don't think it did.
Same.
So like there's
It's kind of why I never saw it. It always seemed
I
more of
remembered
like
it-
a icky thing to me.
Well, I remembered it more raunchy than what it
classier
actually
than I
was.
expected.
Yeah. Because in my head it's raunchier, and then on the review it's definitely not as raunchy as I thought it was.
So I'm going to give it a Cockles. It gets a 1. I don't care. It's gonna get it. And rewatchable, I say why not? Let's do a 0.75 to get this to a 4, just because I don't care. I enjoyed rewatching this, going on this journey. Maybe if I rewatch again, it might come back down or play around. But I think I enjoyed it. I had fun with this.
Yeah.
Nice. Great. Rosticle Posticle.
Oh man. All right, so engaging is going to get I can't give it a full 1. I'm going to mirror Brian's. It's going to be a 0.75 because it is too long. I disengaged certain points in the movie and then kind of got back into it, where I feel like if they had trimmed the fat off of this, I feel if it was a tighter like hour and a half, maybe even like hour 20, I'd be way happier with it. Sticky, same thing. I'm going to give it a 0.5 because I remembered it wrong. As in, like, every time I watch this movie, I remember certain parts, but they're not the parts that I remember. As in, like, they don't actually, like, or they just, it's this weird chimera of thought. So it's like, oh, this happens. No, that doesn't happen here. Oh, this is okay. And it's never correct. Like, I always remember it wrong. So I feel like that sticky is kind of like half lost. T-shirtable is going to get a 0.75. I had it at a 0.5, but I feel 0.75 because, like, if you had, like, you know, those beach shirts that, like, is just the bikini, like the person in the bikini, you know what I mean? But if you just had that as the species, like like the weird xenomorph thing on the front and the back, I feel it would be a hilarious fucking shirt
for the alien itself,
for the species alien. But to really, the Gory Gaze, like you guys say it perfectly, where it's like, I feel it's so close to the Alien franchise is that if I was good, I have the choice between a species shirt, I'd much rather wear an Alien shirt. You know what I mean? Because like they're visually similar to me that I'm like,
if you're doing just the aliens from the movie,
like
any other aspect of it is not similar. I would say.
Totally, but it's just the aesthetic. Is in like if I'm gonna wear a sci-fi shirt that leans towards horror, and I had the option between species and alien, I'd probably pick alien every single day of the week. You know what I mean? Where it's like, but there's enough content in here that I feel like it could be a good t-shirt. And also just the oversized t-shirt at a beach thing. That's the species thing.
No, I love that idea. That one's great. Done. Go with it.
Cockles. Cockles is gonna get a 0.5. I mean, I feel like I get more nostalgic feelings about when I watched it versus the Cockles of the movie I was watching, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Where it's like,
yes.
So it's like, and I do enjoy, there's lots of aspects of this I really do enjoy. And it's weird. Like, I feel like it was way raunchier in my head. And like, it's almost that Psycho aspect where like it was bloodier and like, these things, but it's like it's not. And when you rewatch, you're like, oh, this is actually a lot tamer than what plays in my head. Sure. And then for rewatchable's gonna get a 0.5 because, like I said, I've never seen this on DVD. I've seen this like on VHS, and then when it kind of hit streaming. So like it's an occasional watch for me, but it's nothing that's really going to be on my docket unless like we're getting into like, oh, dude, like sci-fi horror films. I would probably be on like the ass end of the list of sci-fi horror.
Right on. So that's 3 out of 5. Does that feel right for you?
Yeah, it might go a little higher in the re-ratings, but I think a three's cool for me.
Right on. Time for mine before we move over to our guests. Engaging. I'm going 0.7 and 5 as well. Not because the length bothers me. I do like movies to be shorter, but I'm fine with them being longer if they're engaging the whole time. Problem is, this wasn't able to do that. It just gets a little boring at parts. Sticky. Gonna give it a 0.5 there. I'd never seen it before, but I imagine I'll remember some things and kind of remember it the way they've described remembering it, where you confuse parts of it. T-Shirtable is going to get a 0.5 as well. I would probably get one if it was particularly cool, the right time and place, but I'm not really clamoring for a species shirt. Cockles, that is going to get a 1. I've never seen this before. I don't have nostalgia for it, but the way it's made and everything about it gives me nostalgia for movies I watched as a kid. It certainly, had I been able to get away with renting it, I probably would have loved it and told my mom, like, no, listen, aside from the boobs, it's actually like a good movie.
Trying to justify it.
Can't hear you, Brad.
Trying to justify it, yeah.
Yeah. And then we'll go to the watchable, rewatchable finger. I'll probably give that a 0.5. I'm happy I watched it. I'm not dying to get back to it. And if I did have any nostalgia for it, I'm sure it'd be higher.
Sure.
So that comes at a 3.25. I thought I'd be a 3.5. So, close enough.
Great.
Works.
Great.
And now we go to our guest, correct?
Yeah, we do.
You.
Okay, so I'm going to have you guys go through the scale. We can help kind of talk you through it. And then I'm also curious how that would match the score you thought you would have given it, on your own without using our thing. So, Stanley, we can start with you. And it starts with engaging.
Okay, so for engaging, I think I would give it honestly like a 0.25. I don't know. To me, it's a little boring. I thought it was boring. I called it Diet 8 for a reason, and it's just a weak ass script, man. And it doesn't mean that it's a bad film, because I think that it has a lot going for it as far as like the acting goes, and as far as like Natasha Henstridge is like a huge selling point. I think without her in this movie, it could go in a bunch of different directions. I don't know if those are all good directions necessarily, but I think that the script could have been a lot better, and I think that there were some interesting choices that resulted in it just not holding my interest
very much at all,
as much as I would have liked it to.
Cool.
And it just reminded me of Alien a lot. There was a lot of Alien, and I think that took me out of it a little bit.
Fair enough.
But
Sticky,
not a bad film. So for Sticky, I would give it a 0.5.
Okay. Yeah.
A 0.50, excuse me.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And then why? Oh no! I don't have a why.
For Sticky,
don't need to have a why.
I just give it a 0.50.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
You don't have to expand on anything. T-shirtable.
But T-shirtable, I would give this a 1, because I would wear Natasha Henstridge on a T-shirt every day of my life. Like, I think that she's such a nice face, and every frame of her in this movie is great. Like, whether she's
we need to get her
like half
with the
transforming
pulsating face from the pool when she's drowning him, and her face kind of gets those ridges in it.
It's awesome. She reminds me of Natasha Kinski in Cat People. Like, there's a lot of that. And she just reminds like the camera really loves her, and I think that she would look really great on a T-shirt. So I would proudly wear it.
Cockles. And how does it make you feel?
Cockles. A 1. It did make me feel good. So as bored as I was in some parts, like, I think it made up for it with the effects, like with the gore effects that happened. And just with the fun that I did have while I was watching it, because I did find myself laughing a lot, probably in spots that I wasn't supposed to be laughing, but I was laughing. And it just took me back to a good time. Like 95 was a good time to be alive. I was 9 years old, but like a lot of those movies that came around came out around that time, like I find myself going back to. So going back to everybody who has said nostalgia factor. Like, I think that's a big thing.
Absolutely. And last, rewatchable.
Maybe a point. 5-0. I mean, I would watch it again. Maybe here's the thing. We watched it on streaming. We watched it on Tubi. So there were ads.
yeah.
So I think that might have been another thing. If there were no ads, maybe that might have been a whole different contributing factor. But I don't know. I don't know. Like it just didn't capture me in that way. So yeah,
That's
0.50.
fair.
I might try it again.
Sometimes watch.
Yeah.
So sometimes watching it on Tubi is hilarious because like you'll have this like for me it was the tongue bursting through the back of this guy's head and then like welcome to Arby's, have this double beef. You're like God, this is like the fucking. I feel like someone intentionally picks the worst commercials to dump into the weirdest cutscenes.
I 100% agree.
When they're inserted is wild. Yeah. So that puts you at a 3.25 out of 5. How does that feel?
I feel like that feels okay.
Fair. All right.
I feel like that
That's a
feels
pretty good score.
Alex, time for your
Yes,
score,
sir.
starting with engaging.
Okay, so for engaging, I would actually give this a 6, and only because I actually do like this movie, and I know that it's a lot because of the nostalgia and whatever. Let's go with that. But this movie is very like you just have to be very safe about who's around you when you're watching it, and also it's just very long. I think it's just a little too long, but I do like it.
All right.
That's what.
So
I
is
give.
that a 0.6 then?
like
yes,
a 0.60.
yes, no,
Yeah. Okay. Sticky. Yeah. Sorry.
And now for sticky, I go 0.5.
Yeah.
Because I do remember, it sticks with me a lot, and the when I try to explain this movie to people, it's certain scenes in this movie that I know that I'm hoping and they're wishing that they see the same way I see them.
Oh yeah.
So I got a point. T-shirt, yes. 1. I gave that a 1, a 0.1.
Yes.
And only if it was like the image of, the girl version alien, and then in the back it would say something like, you've seen it. Like something, in that raunchy, campy type of material.
In the species font.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You've seen it, so it's kind of like, you've seen it. Cockles, I gave it 1, and specifically because I enjoy the kills in this movie so much, and a lot of it has to do with nostalgia factor as well.
Sure.
Rewatchable, I gave it a 0.1, and I would watch this movie over and over again because I love the idea of this crazy alien woman being lost in my own city and just raping.
Dude.
And the role reversal is what I enjoyed the most. I always wondered, like as a kid, like would this movie scare men at a club like this would scare women at a club?
Yeah.
Like when they do like slasher movies and it's like a guy killing women at a club, women get scared like in real life. So I imagine if triggered men or kind of freaked them out as well back in the 90s.
Right.
So that's kind of like I enjoy that a lot. The role reversal.
I love that's awesome.
So that's 4.1 out of 5. Does that feel right to you?
Yes, I am happy with that.
great
Nice.
scores.
And are you guys from LA?
Yes,
Okay.
born and raised.
Wow.
Awesome.
I'm from Oregon.
Okay. So when you saw this though, or I guess anything, it's always just been seeing home when they're set in LA.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I'm living down 15 minutes away from Hollywood is where I grew up, and now living in Hollywood, and like there's a scene where they're running around Hollywood or like driving around.
Oh,
You see
yeah.
Capitol Records is literally your freeway exit.
Right.
Shit.
Yeah, like it's super cool to like see the nostalgia of the city and
How
how
it
it was
used to
before
be.
to what it is now,
Yeah.
man.
And you
Oh,
were
they
there
filmed the
then
club
too, so
scene.
it's
Check this out.
Pantages. We go to see Broadway shows a lot at this place called the Pantages
We went
Theater.
to the Pantages. It's 20 minutes away. It's a big, beautiful old school theater from the old.
And they filmed
Hollywood.
the interior club scenes in that
Interesting.
theater.
How fun.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Pretty neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was
Cool
thinking
shit.
the city and the scope that she's in within it is a fun thing to play around. New York would have been another fun place for her to
Oh yeah, so
be
that's
playing around
that's
if
so
you could
much
really
better.
use the city to its advantage.
Right.
Like the
As another
subways and
character.
stuff. Yeah.
Right, exactly. You know. Discord, our coven, or not our coven.
Yeah,
our
what does the club have to say?
Covenant Club have a few things. Not that many people saying much. Trevor, Witchmaster of Pleasure, he needs to do a rewatch. It's been decades, but solid based off memory. 3.5 fingers. T-Boo hasn't seen this one. Weird said this is so good. The cast is great. The story is solid. I'm not going to break it down, but I give it a solid 4 fingers. Scotty says, I don't remember this movie at all, but I give the Gory Gaze 5 fingers. So you guys get a solid 5 from Scotty.
We'll take 1 finger, Scotty. Thumb.
And I believe Totemarink had something to say on it as well. I'll try to put that into the episode. I'll see if I can pull it from the Discord or whatever.
That'll be fun.
He's just a sexy toad. Sexy toad! He's not your toad boy. Toad boy! He's just a sexy toad. Sexy toad! He's not your toad boy. Toad boy! Totemarink. What? Do you want to do a review of Species? Aye. Alien, blonde woman, hunters are shagging. It's a goddamn 10, boy! A goddamn 10! Sexy boy.
So let's pretend you got it. Oh,
that was hilarious. Yeah, so that's all they're saying. Not a lot from the Discord, but
right on. How does this movie compare to others in the Goo Book?
Well, that's a fun question. This one comes in at a 3.4, which is a pretty solid score. That sits it right around.
That's our average.
2 other 3.4s. So Crawl, which we just covered, and Club Dread are both 3.4s.
Interesting. Those are 2 favorites of mine.
Yeah. Right above it, the Beyond Classic Horror Story, like Rec 2. And below it, The Menu, Chud, a couple Friday the 13th movies as well sit right below it.
This kind of reminded me of Chud in that like it could be a better movie.
I like Chud.
I like Chud too. I'm not saying I don't like Chud, but
I need to watch it. I think I'm the lowest on that one. I am the lowest on that one.
It could be better. What am I? Do you see it? Am I 3.5?
You're 3.5. I'm a 2.5.
Yeah.
I feel like it could probably be at least a 3. But
yeah. 3.5 is right for me.
It's worth the revisit.
Yeah, and every year we go back and do revisits on things that we've covered kind of before and see if we need to adjust the stuff. So, which is fun.
Well, we'll adjust our scores. We don't necessarily rewatch the movie.
Right. Play around.
But sometimes you'll be like, I want, like in this example, Brian might be like, you know what? I want to revisit Chud to see it because I feel like the score will change.
Yeah, exactly. So that's it from the scores.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Cool. So that does it. Our whole show is, we did it. We chuddled.
Species.
That's the name of the movie we've been doing.
Yes.
We fucked our way through LA.
Nobody even noticed.
It felt good.
So that does it for the Chuddle Movie Club meeting for tonight. Follow Chuddle the Pod on Instagram, Threads, Slasher, Facebook, places. Stay up to date with the podcast. Follow at Ross Purvis on Instagram if you want to see his tattoos, and if you're in the Central Florida area, go get tattooed by him. You can follow me, Chuddle the Sam, or Chuddle the Brian. That's Brian with a Y on Letterboxd if you want to see what we're watching and whatnot. And please jump in our Discord if you want to participate in the show, be part of the Chuddle community. We have a great time in there. Just to make it easy for you, there's a link to all that in the show description. Of course, we have to thank our special guests, Alex and Stanley, the Gory Gays, joining us tonight. Thank you for coming. Plug yourselves one more time, please. Gory Gays on all the socials, podcast stuff.
Oh, yes. At the Gory Gaze, baby.
Yeah, available on all outlets.
All outlets, wherever you want. YouTube, whatever.
Yeah.
Just Google it.
Google it. The Gory Gaze, it'll come up.
Google. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Our pleasure.
We really appreciate it. We had a good time. You'll definitely come again another time.
Oh, right on.
And until next time, avoid the time loop.